YouTube family? What's good? What's happening? Ironwork 92,000 in the house. Welcome. Welcome. Hold on. That thing is over there chiming in the background. So I went ahead and I reactivated my grandfather clock. Let it do its thing. Man, hey, welcome. Thank you for being here for tonight. I mean, it's Tuesday, and if you don't live up in the Northeast or by that area, you wouldn't know this crazy hurricane that we are experiencing here and in and around the southern regions, the Northeast, all that whole coast, that whole border of the United States. We getting hit up and we getting hit hard by these dang hurricanes. So a lot tonight. Just prepping you out. Like I say every single week, it is not a proper Ironwork 92,000 production if the internet ain't acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? So since the internet likes to act crazy and funky, be ready for it, especially now because it's hurricane season. So, aside from all the excuses that I'm coming up with, welcome. Welcome. I'm so happy to see y'all. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? And if you did have a good weekend and you didn't have to experience much of the hurricane or nothing like that, you would know that the skies are full. All kinds of the sky. You know what I'm saying? You had a comet that was here, comet that reappeared here, right? Comet A3 is the current comet that's here right now. Um, Also, you have a full moon. If not tonight, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to not a full moon, excuse me. Yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be an eclipse. It's going to be a lunar eclipse. In the if you don't live in the southern regions, right? Uh South of the equator, you might not see it. So countries like Chile and Argentina, and these are the ones that was specifically spoken about, right? They're going to be the ones to be able to experience some annular solar eclipse. Not us really, but it's going to be happening somewhere. We just won't see it. It is what it is. But if you're on this channel, right, and you're experiencing this while we're, and you know that you're part of the family, right, the Ironwork clique, then maybe you can let us know how it goes, right? You can let us know what it looks like. I mean, of course, everybody in here is pretty much used to an eclipse. Solar, solar, lunar, we're used to them. So they come, they go, but as they come, right, it's nice to experience. And I've never experienced the lunar eclipse in the southern hemisphere, I guess you could say. But in the southern regions, I've never experienced a solar or a lunar. I ain't never experienced one. Anyway, so man, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yo, I don't know if y'all know, I don't know if y'all watch, but as a kid, I grew up watching Good Times. Shout out to dang John Amos, man. The pops from Good Times. If you don't know him, he's the same pops that played Daddy, Mr. McDowell on Coming to America. Can't you get that, Daryl? She don't want you. Can't you get that through your greasy head? And then he threw him out, and he sicked that little ass dog on him and Coming to America. John Amos, man, that brother died, man. He's gone. He's gone on. He's gone on to the ancestors, right? So he's passed. It's been a crazy week. A whole lot of people here in the last couple of here this year, man. We lost Apollo Creed. He's gone. He's gone to the ancestors. Chris Christopherson just died yesterday. Um, like dude's just falling off, man. Dude's just falling. You had what's his name? Darth Vader. Um, I guess it's a good thing. I guess it's a good thing these guys are going when they're going, so then that way they're not part of this whole P. Diddy scandal. In case they were, well, you know what? They ain't got shit to deal with. They ain't got no backlash that they're gonna have to answer to. You know what I'm saying? So they're gone. They ain't got to deal with that nonsense. And those of us that are living, we're gonna have to be the ones that fucking deal with that bullshit, right? Not us, but them motherfuckers. So it is what it is. But I'm sitting over here monologuing. Let me dialogue a little bit. Let me fuck with the crew who's in the house tonight. Oh, we got a full house tonight. Greg B, what's going on, fam? It's good to see you, man. And hopefully your stomach is feeling better. Ida Hill, what's going on, girl? It's good to see you. Always holding it down. Y'all always holding it down for me, man. hold on. This thing, of course, the internet. Oh, Shannon Emerson, it's good to see you. Hey, girl. I know you probably be busy and stuff, but it's good to see you. It's always a pleasure. It is always a pleasure. Nate X, what's going on, homie? Never seen you here, but hey, welcome. Regardless, whether you're flat, whether you're the globe, welcome. It's good to see you. All right. Logical observations. What's going on, bro? It's good to see you, man. All right, all right. Holding it down. Who else in here? Who else is in here? What else we got? Saddle Bum. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. All right, man. All right, man. We got a full house tonight. We got a full house. I know these motherfuckers with these big channels that might drop on in every once in a while. They're like, full house. You got like 10 people watching. I'm like, hey, man, it is what it is, man. I don't care if I had 2 people watching. We got a full house, people. You understand? So it is what it is. Hey, Shannon, listen. Listen, you good. A fat guy from the show American Pickers. Yeah, he died. I just saw that. I don't even know what American Pickers is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many TV shows out these days. I don't know. Like, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I have the Netflix subscription and I have the Hulu subscription so that my daughters and my ex can enjoy watching Netflix and Hulu. So that is, I guess you could say that's part of my divorce package. Me, I'm like, whatever, man. Yeah, y'all can have the thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not an asshole. I'm not a Disney. So I'm like, y'all go ahead, watch it. I don't watch these shows. I don't like I have Netflix and it's a mixture. I have Netflix, I have Hulu. I pay for it, right? And this is for the girls, the ladies in my life. And so, and what I mean by that, obviously my kith and my kin, former my ex, but my daughters as well. And so, since they watch it, they enjoy it. I'm like, you can have it, right? You can enjoy it. I'll pay for it, whatever. But even still, when I watch Netflix and I check out Hulu, like there's so much shit to watch. I'm like, I ain't watching nothing. I ain't watching nothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless now this is what I do watch, this is what I have watched, this is what I will continue to watch. And I'm not going to lie. There's something I don't know if you guys have heard of the Transformers Kingdom series, Transformers The War for Cybertron and all that. Like I watch those, right? So I love my Transformers. I do. I do. Even though I am disillusioned with space, I still watch Transformers. Every once in a while I have to escape. Transformers Prime. um I love my I love my Transformers, right? Transformers G1, I'm a G1 guy, right? So I was around when Transformers G1 was out there busting it wide open back in the early 80s, 1984 to be exact. And I fell in Transformers and I've been in love ever since. Now the Michael Bay trash, I don't watch that. I don't subscribe to it, but that's neither here nor there. Another show I watch is the Blood of Zeus, right? And there are a lot of these shows that discuss the gods, right? And the gods with a small g, obviously. And you know, the ones with the Ragnaroks, the Thors, and everything else like that. Like those gods, there's a lot of these Netflix cartoons that I've been watching and I've been tuning into, and like I'm enjoying the F out of. I said enjoying the F out of, kind of like I act like I don't cuss, whatever. But I enjoy the hell out these shows. Another one is The Blood of Zeus. If you hadn't seen that, you need to check it out. Transformers, you hadn't seen that, you need to check it out. And if you're a vampire fan, I love Castlevania. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so okay. Unit doc, unindoctrinated. Hey man, you a G1 or two? Shit, me too. Hey, listen, Ryan, listen, if you hadn't checked out Transformers 1, I highly recommend it. That movie that thing had tears coming out of my eyes. I love that movie so much. I had tears coming out of my eyes. And like I felt a certain way, like my insides was like exploding. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It brought back some good memories. So, yo. On the ball, what's going on, homie? What's going on, man? And also greetings Good to see you, bro. Riku in the house. What's happening, bro? It's good to see you, man. And no longer on the ball. Always a pleasure to see you too, man. Man, I'm glad to have y'all here. I'm glad to have y'all here. So yeah, I was over there BSing talking about Transformers and the stuff that I watch on Netflix. Other than that, oh, and if you hadn't watched, if you like vampires, the Castlevania series, if you are in the, if you like, I was a big time gamer, and as a kid I played everything, but then as I grew older, I tailored down what it was I played. I don't go around fucking play Call of Duty because that's real life for me, being in the military and stuff, right? Having to deal with that, I'm like, I don't need to play that. I could go outside and I could see that shit take place, right? Call of Duty, I didn't do that. I didn't do the those games where you run and gun. I don't do that. That's no, man. You could watch, you could turn on the TV, you could go outside, you could deal with that. What I did like though, what I did enjoy was the Metal Gear series. Love that. Metal Gear, Castlevania, um, Metal Gear, Castlevania, the God of War series, anything Transformers on a video game platform, shit, right? Transform Formers, and that's it. Like I stop, right? So if these things don't come out on this on the platforms, right? Your PlayStations and your Nintendo. I'm just mentioning the other platforms because a lot of you guys out there that do game, you guys might be playing on the Wii, or not the Wii, but you know, whatever Nintendo got now. They came out with like 10 systems at once, it seems like. But whatever Nintendo got now, like the small little red and blue pad, that thing, Xbox One or Xbox Zero, whatever the fuck Xbox got, and then the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. So I'm a gamer, right? And I love specific cartoons. And so when I watch those things, like those things will bring me joy when I watch them and I enjoy them. And then, like, that's it. I won't watch TV for like the rest of the year until they come out with something similar to that. That, or if there's something similar, I might watch it. I don't know. But it's got to be like it or a spin-off, or I don't know. I don't know. But that's something about me that you guys know. I game. I used to game, right? Um and I love my animated shows. I don't do anime. I don't do Japanese anime. I might do a couple, like one or two, like the Record of Lodoss War, Ninja Scroll, the Berserk series, and like that's it. I don't do that crazy shit like One Piece, Cowboy Bebop, Sailor Moon. I don't do all that crazy stuff, man. Like, I don't know what it is, but the Asian community usually they have very good storylines. But the way they animate them, it's strange to me sometimes. Like they put it in a cartoon form and it's over the top and it's too many colors. And I'm like, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much. It's like too much gravy on my rice. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's too much for me. Some people like that. You know what I'm saying? My daughters like that. They like anime. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I could see the attraction to it. You know, Voltron was an anime. Robotech or Macross was an anime when we were kids, right? And that's something that we got into. And a lot of the Japanese cartoons and the Japanese influence kind of rubbed off on many of us in the 80s, into the 90s, into now. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. It's all love. I enjoy those things, but not all of, like, Dragon Balls is so confusing to me. It's just too much. It's too much. Right? Ghost in the Shell. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. But aside from all that, like I said, those guys make phenomenal stories. If there's one thing that culture is not really known for, but those of us that know, it's the stories, right? Them African shows, them African like soap operas, man, be having the craziest stories. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, that's me when it comes to TV media and stuff like that. Like I that's what I'll probably watch. And Ida Hill knows what One Piece is. Okay, Ida Hill, you seen One Piece, you know what it is. Okay. So probably not because you watch it, or I'm assuming you don't, but maybe your children or your kids watch it or something like that. And so, yeah, that's a really good. I also think the truth will be unobtainable in some cases. Okay. The Cult of Del and his upward rising. Yeah, you know what? I don't subscribe to that. I'm sorry. I don't mess with that upward rising earth. That's just no. Osoyo's wine tasting. What's good, homie? It's good to see you, family. Death Note. Oh, Reggie P56, Death Note. So yeah, my daughter loves Death Note. And I'm just like, man, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks good, but then I'm like, I gotta start a new series. I gotta figure these motherfucking characters out. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But Reggie, yeah, okay. Obviously, you watch it too. So Death Note is another one. Full Metal Alchemist. A lot of people loved Full Metal Alchemist, right? Trigun, all these shows, man. And I'm like, damn, the Japanese, they don't stop, man. They don't stop. The Japanese just pour it on, man. When it comes to these anime and these shows, the Japanese just can't quit. Anson Howard, what's going on, family? It's good to see you, bro. It is good to see you. All right, all right. Yeah. Yeah, man. So everybody that okay, so everybody that watches anime, you know what it is. And listen, I go to the Comic Cons, right? I love the Comic Cons. I went recently to I'll show you guys a picture. Um Once I get a hold of it, I'll show you guys a picture of me at Comic Con, and I'll give y'all a taste. You know what I'm saying? But I do the Comic Cons as well. Um, I like to toy around a little bit and enjoy myself. The Comic Cons are pretty dope. And the thing is when they hit New York, like they hit the streets hard. You know what I'm saying? I've never done a Comic Con outside of New York City. So I couldn't tell you what it's like out there, but I could tell you at New York Comic Con, perfecto. It is phenomenal. Let me tell you. I tell you, New York City Comic Con is probably one of the best experiences of my life. I tell you. Yeah, but real talk, no playing around like New York City Comic Con. That's where it's at. I'll show y'all here. Times out in New York, living it up. You guys get to see me in all my foolish glory, but I wouldn't call it foolish. You know what I'm saying? It's just me having a good time, enjoying myself, all that goodness. And yeah, really that's all it is. Nothing crazy, nothing shabby. Hold on. Yeah. So know what it is. Just going to the Comic Cons and everything else. I'm going to share it with you guys right here. To here. Boom. Okay. Should be appearing right now. This is just how technologically dang illiterate I could be, or slow, but whatever. I'm holding it down right now. So let me show you guys. This was me at Comic Con, and I do a little bit of cosplay, right? Not too much, a little bit though. I do a little bit of cosplay. I enjoy it. I like my cosplay, whatever you want to call it. So hold on, let me show you guys here a little bit of my action right here. Hold on. I'm going to present to you guys. Boom. So right there, that's me. That's me with Daredevil. If you don't know, I'm a DJ Lance Rock from Yo Gabba Gabba. And you can see inside my big ass nose right there. You know, I got to keep it real. But that's the Daredevil. I'm with him. And like a whole bunch of people like really dug my costume. And they were like, holy a lot of people thought it was DJ Lance Rock. But here's the thing, like I'm gonna be real with y'all, right? That's me and my doing my best impression of DJ Lance Rock. In case you can't see a bigger picture, there it is, right? So I love the Comic Cons, right? I do the cosplays and everything. All right, so okay, so that's me. That's me acting, being myself, right? Being true to me. But my thing is I'd love to play the Kratos, but I ain't no Kratos. I would love to play He-Man. I ain't no He-Man. I would love to play the cool cowboy gunslinger, this or that. Listen, I'm a geek, 5'8", like almost 200 pounds, right? Look at me. Look at me. I got these glasses on. This is like it's like people have a signature move, right? My signature move is like my grin, my eyebrows, my glasses, this big ass bell pepper on my face. And that's how you know what you got, right? You know what you got with this right here. This is what you know what you got. So I have to work with what I got. And so by working with what I got, what do? I dress like DJ Lance Rock for Comic Con. I get in where I fit in, and I fit in with DJ Lance Rock. That's what works for me. You know what I'm saying? And things along those lines. They may not be glamorous or nothing like that, but it is what it is. Jimmy Satterfield. Oh my gosh. A blast from the past. Jimmy Satterfield is actually here. Jimmy Satterfield, I don't know where you've been, but you hadn't been here for a while. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see you though. It's good to see you. You know what, Jimmy Satterfield? Jimmy Satterfield, hold on, bro. I got something for your ass, bro. For your ass. I got something for ya. I got something for ya. I got something for ya. Hold on, Jimmy Satterfield. Give me 1 second. I got something for ya. Okay. Jimmy Satterfield. Okay. So, Jimmy Satterfield. In the name of King George, God and all that is great and holy, I present you the iron wrench. With it, commit to justice. Befall all those who oppose thee and me. The better place for all true and flat earthers alike. Rise, Knights of the Ironwork, Sir Jimmy Satterfield. Da, 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 da. Onward we march with our newest knight, Jimmy Satterfield. Behold. I gotta work on that. I get it. I gotta work on it, y'all. That ain't. I get it. That ain't me. But I know I gotta work on it. Fuck it. Whatever. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Remember that? What's his name? Oh, Bill O'Reilly. Whatever happened to Bill O'Reilly? I haven't heard from him in a while. I almost feel as if you give it some time, that motherfucker gonna be on that list with James Evans and James Earl Jones and all that. Be like Bill O'Reilly. They're just gonna show a picture of him with his face in black and white. You're gonna be like, oh shit, I know what that means. Yeah, they're not just giving him a glamour shot. You know, when they show a motherfucker, that's one thing I noticed. They're like Norman Lear, the creator of Good Times to the Jeffersons, Maude, Sanford and Son, and you like, uh-oh. They're not about to talk about a new book he came out with. I haven't heard that man's name in a long time. And then they show his face like from the 70s wearing a big old damn butterfly collar and shit, hairy chest, gold chain, smiling, right? And you black and white picture, you like, he's dead. He's got to be dead. No other reason that they showing a motherfucker look like that. He's dead. He's dead. Got to be dead. Got to be dead. There was there was one picture that dude's got of me in my uniform shortly after I became a chief in the Navy. And then they put it up there. They were like, "Does anybody recognize this guy?" And then people were like, "Holy shit, Vlad's dead." People thought I died. It was in black and white. They put my picture up there like looking in black and white. And people were like, "Holy fuck, did Vlad die?" And they were like, no, why? And they were like, "Why do you have this picture in black and white?" And I saw it and I was like, oh shit, like, wow, I guess people might have thought I was dead. I guess that's like the dead guy picture. They remove all color, got you in black and white, and that is like that is the smile, the Polaroid smile picture, or the Polaroid moment, right? A Kodak moment where it shows you are no more. That is your last Kodak moment right there. When the news got your ass printed up and they had me on there on Facebook, and I was like, holy shit, everybody think I'm dead, man. Dudes texting me, "Hey, bro, you good, bro?" And I was like, yeah, man. Like, look, man, I just saw the post, man. I'm alive. Like, yo, why they put that? Why they do you like that? I was like, I don't know, man. Look, I don't know. I'm answering questions from people that I thought hated me. They're like, yeah, I still don't like your funky ass. Oh, okay. You're not dead? Okay, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, thanks for checking on me, though. But it's all good, though, man. It's all good. I'm over here talking mess. Yo, okay. So real talk, I'm talking a lot of crap today, but let's get down to business. So we had, or we still have this week, but I couldn't see it. We have a comet in the sky, right? It's A3 chaka chaka chaka. Start with a T, something like that. Comet A3 is in the sky in the northern hemisphere regions, right? And of course, everybody's going to say, "Oh, see, you said northern hemisphere. You know that means it's on a globe, it's on a ball." It's like, whatever, man. The northern regions, okay? So, up in the northern regions, if you hadn't seen it or you hadn't checked it out, what you should know is that um they have this comet that's up and hanging around there. Now that's a sky anomaly. One, two. Now you have this stuff going down, right? With the solar eclipse that's going to be taking place in the southern regions tomorrow. Three, you have Halley's, that what they call Halley's comets meteor. Yeah, meteors. Or I think they're Halley's comets, like the trail that they leave behind every year, right? Every time around this time of year, you're going to get the same sky effects, right? If you know you have the Pyramids and all these, you have all these Russian named after aerial phenomena that take place in the sky. The Leonids, whatever they are, it doesn't matter. If you look in the sky and they have like a consistent stream of comets, or not comets, excuse me, um, as a little meteor shower and stuff like that, like you could see that occur every single time during that period, every single year. A lot of people say it's because the earth is hurtling through space doing its cycle. Negative, right? Well, coming to know, right? Now you're coming to understand, if you're of the true and flat earth. You're starting to see that those things that occur, they happen on a cyclical basis every year, right? It's like when the clock strikes one, the clock strikes this, the clock strikes that. Every time it appears, that thing appears, it appears in some particular constellation every time of year. In this case, I think this latest meteor shower is going to be appearing in uh Libra. We're in the constel. I think I'm pretty sure we're in the constellation of Libra right now, right? So it's going to happen on Libra's the most perfect timepiece known to us, right? As far as we know. Now, you have a lot of craziness going down. We have more action going on in the Eastern Med. If you guys don't know, living under a rock, I'm just going to fill you in. This is what the news is claiming. The news is claiming that after multiple attacks on Lebanon, the Israel went ahead and they just got the shit rocked. They just got their asses rocked by Iran with a ass ton of, it looks like it could be missiles. They interchange. Now, here's the thing: they mix the terminology up with missiles and rockets. Let me tell you a difference if you don't know. Rockets are basically grenades with fucking thrust behind them, right? Those are rockets. They don't have the ability to change and maneuver and do all this and do all that. They're fire, forget, one direction. Whatever they strike, they strike. Now, missiles are different, right? You can program missiles. Missiles have, I guess you could say, a electronic brain to some degree, and you can have them do different things. Chase heat. You could have them loiter, hang around, loiter, and then strike their target. You could have them do zigzagging. You could have missiles do all sorts of crazy stuff. Change targets, everything. So there's a big difference between a missile and a rocket. So if you look at a news organization that says rockets and they interchange that terminology with missiles, you need to call them out. All right. You need to discredit them. And those of you guys that have been in either that commit your time to doing this type of study, or you've done this type of work and you understand it, right? Like, you would see that rockets and missiles are two different forms of munition. They're different. I mean, they both fuck you up. And if they blow up around you, you're done. That much is true. Doesn't matter whether it's a rocket, a grenade, or a missile, right? But there is a difference. Anyway, I said all that because a lot of these news media has been going around saying rockets. They've been firing rockets. They've been firing missiles. I'm like, motherfucker, get your shit straight. They're not the same fucking thing. It's kind of like when you're talking to your parents and then they like to say, "Hey, put the Sega off." And it's like, it's a PlayStation. But okay, I'll put it off. Why do you always play the Sega? You're like, it's an Xbox. I don't care what it is. Sega, Atari, put it off. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay. All right, I'll put it off. You got it. It's off. Going off, mom and dad. Going off. All you want to do is play Nintendo. Be like, I actually play Xbox, but okay. I play Nintendo. You got it. All you want to do is play Sega. It's all my parents know is Sega and Nintendo. Like, they don't know nothing else. Everything is the same to them. And yes, missiles can be guided. Rockets are, yeah, exactly, fire and forget. They're like exploding bullets. Rockets are, right? Found the comments. Last name Haley. Okay. Guy's name Haley. Founder of Haley's Comet. Edmund Haley, who examined the reports. Yeah, Haley's Comet circles every like 75, 72 years or something like that. The last time we saw Haley's Comet, I think it was like 1985. I was watching and the thing is, Haley's Comet was a pretty big deal. You know what I'm saying? Haley's Comet, look up, so Edmund Haley. I think it's Edmund, they said. Edmund Haley or Halley, however which way you want to call it. Okay? Yeah. So it comes around like every 70 some odd years. 75 years, they said. I thought it was 72. 75 to 76 years. Okay. I don't know what I'm looking at, but 1531, 1607, 1682. Yeah, I seen it. Halley's, whatever. I some people call it Haley's. All right. Okay. All right, Ryan, you got it. Halley's Comet. Better. Does better. When all else fails, they take you to war. Yeah, that's right. Gerald Salente. 76 years. Yeah, around 76. It bounces between 76, 75 years is the claim, probably because of the leap year that we'd like to throw in there. So Halley's Comet comes around. The last time it came around, and now I know I'm jumping all over the place, so forgive me, y'all. Last time it came around was like 1985, 1986. I remember I was a kid. That was the first time I used the telescope, and yeah, it was pretty dope. Like we got to see Halley's Comet. You happy there, Ryan? And we got to see Halley's Comet. And from that point, it's not coming around until like damn 2050 something. I don't know. 2057, 2060 maybe, 2061. So it's a well-known Mandela effect. Halley's. You're bringing it up because it's a well-known Mandela effect. I did not know that, Ryan. That I didn't know. Say Halley's Comet. Here's something that I thought was pretty damn funny. All right, I'm not gonna laugh. I'll let you guys see it for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you guys one more time. Halley's Comet. I love this guy. This guy's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Halley's Comet. Both of them. They're both amazing. All right, these guys, some of the best people around. They love them. Halley's Comet. They love them. Halley's Comet, everybody. Halley's Comet. Some of the best fireworks around. God bless America. I don't know. Halley's Comet. They do it for me. I don't know. You can ask anybody. I'm not saying it. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you this again. I know we saw it last week, but I'm going to present it to you one more time. Okay. Where is it at? There it is. So again, I'm a fast tailor, right? I want y'all to watch this. We're gonna watch
I
it.
think it's very disrespectful, but to me, it doesn't matter. Please, red dress. Yeah, pretty much recovered. Yeah, I'm a fast healer. It's a hell of a shot, but I'm a fast healer. Yeah, pretty much recovered.
Look at him.
No, it didn't hit that. I got very lucky. It just hit the lobe, as they
It
call
hit
it.
the lobe. All right. Yo, let me show y'all something, man. Look at this shit that this dude wrote. He said, "Look at this." All right. Hold on. I'm zooming in so you guys have a better view of it. All right. One more time. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me zoom out. And then he says right here, it took my entire ear off. Or you could say it like this, it took my entire ear off, the whole ear. But then I went to the doctor and he says, and this is true, you can ask anybody. He said, you heal faster than anyone. It's true. And then he continues with, nobody is healthier than you are, President Trump. And then the next day, you wouldn't believe this. My entire ear was growing back. And now listen to this. The doctor said, listen to this. Nobody regrows ears like that. And it's really remarkable thing. Regrowing an ear like that, most people can't do it. Just you, President Trump. You know what I'm saying? So this dude wrote this clown ass shit and I fell out laughing. I swear. Whoever wrote that is an absolute genius. Whoever wrote that is an absolute genius. Absolute genius. It took my ear off, the whole ear, but I went to the doctor and he said, oh, man. Oh, man. So whoever comes up with this stuff, like, there's genius everywhere, right? We don't have to rely on people, the typical, George Burnses and all that stuff. All your comedians from yesteryear, there's comedy of gold everywhere. And this dude, the king of clowns, I swear. He's talking about they grazed the lobe. I'm not gonna let that shit go. Listen. I think things like this we need to talk about, right? Even though it's funny when people talk about it, bring it up and make jokes about them. It's one of those things where it's like you still lied. You pretended to get fucking shot. It made world news. People were worried, except for those that knew you were full of shit. Why did you make that up? And I think because we've blown we continue to just let shit go and let shit ride and whatever everything. You could put it in the same category as the Coco that we had a few years back. You could put it in the same category as 9/11. You could put it in there with the Liberty. You could put it in there with everything. You know what I'm saying? It's still bullshit. It's still a fucking lie. He still lied about it. And we had to fall for it. But for what? For what? Now you got this crazy thing going on out there in the Eastern Med, right? With Israel getting the shit bombed out of them. And then they're saying, they don't deserve it. The rest of the world is like, oh, the world is spiraling out of control. I'm like, yo, but what about when they bomb Lebanon? Like, the world's not spiraling out of control when they kill those brown folks down there. You know what I'm saying? The world's not spiraling out of control when they kill all those people, those Palestinians. It's not spiraling out of control then, right? It's not spiraling out of control then. All them brown people, all them dark ass folks in them regions, man, getting wiped out. And it's what they think. You see, Israel is going to make up. They're like, yo, they eat too much popcorn. Israel will come up with any reason to wipe those people out. They're just going to clear them out. And once they wipe them all out, you know what they're going to do? They're going to fucking run an entire goddamn thing through there. They have a bunch of plans set up for that region. If you don't know, what's his name did a pretty tight piece on it. Yes, it's the truth, right? Yes, it's the truth. Got the big happy face. He did a really good piece on it where it shows they're putting up the Ben Gurion Canal. So it's going to rival the Suez. So this isn't money only Egypt could make. They're going to run a canal that's roughly parallel to the Suez Canal running through Gaza. And I think very near and through the Dead Sea, if I'm not mistaken, but in and around or through the Dead Sea or near the Dead Sea. I forgot where it was geographically. But it's like near the Dead Sea. They're going to cut that right through Gaza, right on through there into the Med. And I think from the Med into the Indian Ocean, not into the Red Sea that we're used to, kind of like the Suez, not into the Red Sea as far as I saw, but cutting through from the Med to the Indian Ocean. That's the crazy part. And that's what they plan on doing. So it's a big money maker. This is why you have all these regions that are sitting over there trying to make money with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? US, all the European countries, all these Asiatic countries, i.e. India, and everything like that. It's funny that you see India is sitting over there like backing Israel for all the bullshit that they're doing. They're like, hey, they have a right to protect themselves. Everybody has a right to protect themselves. Ain't nobody saying that. But when you're out there actively killing people, that's a totally different story. Which is what they're doing. They're genociding a people for a gain. It's not just for their gain, but we have to look bigger picture. We have to look at money that the bag that people are going to. Europe stands to gain a lot of money out of this. Europe definitely does. Europe, India, obviously Israel, right? The US, because we're financing this shit. really, right? Anytime we back those countries like that doing shit like that, we finance it. We basically lend to them support. We give them our troops. We give them our troops. Nah, this is stuff that they don't really put on the news. They may mention it, right? They may talk about it a little bit, and I'm not trying to get too deep into that. I want to get back into the flat earth tonight. But they talk about it, but like real quick, and then they go on to the bullshit. Meanwhile, P. Diddy, he was over there stuffing he was stuffing some peppers, right? He was over there stuffing peppers this weekend, stuff like that. And they distract us. Meanwhile, a trucker strike going on in the States. Hopefully everybody started doing what they needed to do. Get your water, get your food, because you got this trucker strike, right? You got your food, you got everything you need in excess, just in case shit hits the fan, right? So, fraternal police. I think we all know who the fraternal order of the police will purge. Oh boy. I gotta check that out. Man, Awakened Nemesis, what's going on, family? It's good to see you. First of all, let me say what's up to Awakened Nemesis. It's always a pleasure to see you, brother. Sean Alki, same thing, bro. It's good to see you. Sean Alki. Angie Carson, baby. I don't know if I've seen her yet, but typically you guys are paired, and like you come on, she comes on, and she comes on, and you come on. So Angela Carson, baby. I haven't seen her, but she may be around. And if she's not, well, what's up to her? Or if she is, what's up to her? She just hadn't logged in. Google map of the Kingdom of Israel. The Kingdom of Israel. No, it wasn't called Israel, bro. It was called Palestine. Everybody called it Palestine back then. Everybody did. Like, IDF shoulders are wearing. I heard about this as well. Awakened Nemesis. I did hear about that. Massive geoengineering here and be. God dang, man. So Osoyo's wine tasting. You and I think it's Nano CBD. That's Canadian as well. That talks about how they're fucking with your environment, man. You're gonna have to give us a little bit more detail. I'm really interested in hearing that. Angela's making some sandwiches. Get me a sandwich. Nailed it. Yeah, she's cutting some fruit. Yeah. Angela Carson, how you doing, sis? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. All right. Yeah. So I mean, that whole no, ain't nobody trying to kill them people. You know what I'm saying? The synagogue of Satan has fucked everybody up. The synagogue of Satan has turned the whole world upside down. The whole world. And we fall for it because it's entertainment, it's everything. Did King David 1000 BC, the word Palestine was invented 100 years later? But 4D flat earth, Israel is people. Oh, Israel. Oh, Israel. You hear that consistently in the Bible. Oh, I forgot. Was it Jacob? His name was turned to Israel. They one of the greater characters in the Bible. Now I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up. Definitely don't quote me on that. His name was Israel. His name was Israel. So it wasn't a region per se, and it was a person, then it became a people that was Israel. There was a people that was Israel. It was like a whole people, and it wasn't a place per se. But then, let me tell you something. If in case you don't did or heard I don't know if you know, but Theodore Herzl originally wanted to have Israel in Africa. He wanted to have it in Uganda, which I find absolutely telling considering the amount of gold. They found a golden mountain underneath Uganda. Something, hold on. Let me find it for y'all. Okay. So Uganda, oh my lord. Uganda in 2023, no, excuse me, 2022, 31 million metric tons of gold ore was found in Uganda. 31 million metric tons of gold ore. An estimated value at $12.8 trillion. This is what they found in Uganda in 2022. What they claimed they found in 2022. Theodore Herzl was looking to have Uganda as the promised land for those folks, right? Way back when. Why they decided not to have it in there? Probably because it would have been a bunch of white people in the middle of a hot ass Africa, and then they would have said, this is ours. We've been here the whole time. This is ours. We need to eliminate all these black motherfuckers, just like they're doing with the people in Gaza. We need to eliminate all these black motherfuckers, and we need to claim it as our own. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. That rhymes, by the way. So they would have pulled some bullshit like that. No, yeah, at large, I agree. I agree. I agree. So based off of the history that we were taught, I agree that our entire history is an absolute lie. I can't sit here and say you're full of shit. I agree. Egyptians were the same people that built Solomon's temple, and they were the Jews, basically. Guess we will be invading Uganda soon. Well, Andrew Ohm, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. And 4D Flat Earth, it's good to see you as well. If I didn't greet you, I'm greeting you now. So they're black, white. No. So the Israel is a people. No. The synagogue of Satan is a group of people. Is a particular people. Well, the white, black synagogue is claimed to the name of, and yeah. So if you look at Africa, right, you've got Rwanda that's still being toyed with. You've got Kenya that's still heavily being toyed with, right? And so a lot of these Western powers are doing their best to eat up the eastern portion of Africa and work their way further towards the center, closer to where Uganda is closer to the east, but they're they're far out away from the east, heading west, more west than they are. Hold on, let me see. How would I say it? They're in the if you split Africa into fours, right? They're still on the eastern side, but they're still landlocked. They're still inland. Uganda is, and it's close to Burundi and Rwanda. You could just look at a map and just see the influence that a lot of these Western powers have on the eastern side of Africa, right? And it's working there with them. Do not like black people, especially Africans. So what they do is they eat that part. They're just totally influencing that part of Africa, basically stealing it, eating it, causing trouble and war, everything, all the bad shit that you typically see in these regions, right? And they're working their way further west. And the Chinese are already there. They're doing the same thing that the West is doing. They ain't doing nothing different. The Chinese is there too. Russians are on the damn West Coast. And we're also on the West Coast, but the Russians are starting to influence that side of the continent. You know what I'm saying? But the Chinese is doing it right, man. They're just giving Africa a paycheck and basically tying a cord to it, saying, hey, you owe money. And Africa's like, we can't pay it. Then they pull the check back. And then they constantly fish that. It's like a fishing reel with a check on it. They're constantly casting that shit. The Africans bite, they pull them in, and then they're like, I got another fish. Cast it again. I got another fish. Cast it again. So you have these regions that you have these countries that own many or own a large part of these places in Africa. They may not own Uganda for sure, but China has laid claim, or they claim to have laid claim to this mountain of gold. 31 million metric tons worth $12.8 trillion, they claim. So my thing is, did they find it already? Did they know it was there? Or is this something that we know that we have known to have been there? Because like I said, right, you have these people, Theodore Herzl, right, him and the Synagogue of Satan. He would have put them in that region, and they would have caused nothing but trouble in that entire place. And I guarantee you, if the Synagogue of Satan would have been put in Uganda, that whole region would be it's chaos to some degree because of a Western influence, but that whole place, they would want to execute black people wholesale, worse than they do now. They would. If you have any sense in your head, you could see it. You could see it from a mile away. You could be black, white, green, purple, orange, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Indian, it don't matter. That's just how this beast is in world society, right? If they would have put him in there, if they would have brought the Synagogue of Satan from Europe, from Germany, from Russia, from Poland, they would have thrown him right there in the middle of Africa. What you think? That shit you seen in South Africa, that apartheid, wouldn't have had nothing on what they had on what they could have had in Uganda. It would have been nothing compared to that. You talking about the slaughter of King Leopold on them Africans out there in Namibia and all that portion of Africa, it would have been a zillion times worse. The U.S. would have been like World War II.5, right? And they would have went in there. They would have nuked they would have probably nuked that portion of Africa. They would have killed, if you believe nukes exist, which I do. Sue me. I think nukes exist. But they would have killed all them people. They would have killed all them people. Or they would have done their best to get rid of them. And they black too. They were like black. They would have been like, oh, easy day. We won't even say they existed. We'll just wipe them out. They would have been more than happy to do that. Let me get off the subject, man. I could go on that all day. But anyway, if you look it up, you'll see that they have that much gold in just Uganda. And if you look at the rest of the country, you know what I'm saying? You'll also see, or the rest of the continent, excuse me, you'll see that part of Africa looks small on the map, but it's huge. Huge. So you can imagine how much more gold you could find in and around there if they're running into a whole mountain of gold, which they claim to have found just now or just recently. You know what I'm saying? Sean, why do we agree on it? Sean, why do we agree on everything? Doesn't make much difference what bombs are made of. Yeah, no, that's true. Anson Howard. Don't matter if they're feathers or if they're what, but as soon as they explode, you're dead. Anson Howard, you're right. As soon as a bomb explodes and you're around it, you're gone. China are under the Rothschild control gold. They purchase silver via China. Yeah. That's wow. That's something, that's something I definitely need to do a little bit more research on because I don't know too much about that. Like I hear about it and I constantly hear about it, but I've never really I need to do more research on it because I don't know about that. But that's Awakened Nemesis. That's really some deep shit right there, man. Awakened Nemesis be bringing some elbows out of left field, man, and it'd be some heavy shit you be bringing, man, to the table. So it's definitely something worth considering, and it's something worth looking further into. Awakened Nemesis. So I'm a matter of fact, let me write that down. Hold on. found in China. All right, I'm gonna look that up, Awakened Nemesis, and yeah, I'm gonna do my research on that because you be like I said, you be coming up with some crazy, crazy shit. You know, Rothschild. There we go, Rothschild. There you go. All right, hold on. Ugandan government revealed vast estimated gold deposits around 31 million tons. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. With approximately, yep. That's what it is. A Soyuz wine tasting. Yeah. So you saw it. Nuclear energy and how it works. Hold on. If nukes was real, Golan Windsor. Oh, hold on. It's not very hard to recognize. It's all propaganda. Very much. No. Yeah, like I know nuclear energy is real. Professor I did nuclear related work for the majority of my Navy career, right? The Whether I was an electrician, whether I was a Navy diver, I spent the majority of my Navy dive time diving submarines, nuclear submarines, right? Um, Whether I was flying above them and finding them, right, on my craft that I flew aboard, or whether I served on them and I rode these things. So I got to see them in different types of aspects and different types of ways I got to serve and work alongside the submarine and the sub force. So yeah, I even went to those compartments back there. Not even going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. And I got to see that through its little glass thing, see how it operates. But believe it or not, y'all, like David Weiss is right. Um, Nuclear on a submarine, at least. Subs run off of nuclear power, yes, but the way they propel is with steam. They're steam driven still, right? It basically heats up a bunch of water inside of a closed loop. That water hits what it needs to hit. It's like super hot water that heats up more water. That water goes inside like some, not evaporators. I forget the cycle really. Now I'm starting to forget the cycle. It'll come back to me. But that water heats up some more shit. And then that water produces steam that goes and strikes some generators. Them generators, uh, I think it's the generators. Jeez, now I'm fucking up. But them generators turn the turbine, and the turbine, um, the turbine, excuse me, the shaft. Them things turn the shaft. I'm all fucked up. For all you nuclear engineers, and I'm sure FTFE will know exactly what it is because FTFE, and I hate to have to bring his name up, but FTFE is a nuclear engineer, right? Or if I'm not mistaken, he is a nuclear engineer. So I don't remember it exactly. And shame on me because I got my dolphins, right? As a sailor. I got my damn submarine qualification. So shame on me. Well stuff. And so yeah, so submarines and they're run off of nuclear propulsion, steam, they're steam powered, even though the primary source is nuclear are like rods. They're super hot and they heat up the water around them. They heat up the area, they heat up the water around them. The water is super hot, but in a closed system. Is radium rebranded? Professor Phil gave me schooling. Oh, Shifty Shady Eyes gave me schooling in nuclear chain reactions. Oh, so you learned from Professor Phil. That's pretty dope. So yeah, so I saw a compartment, yeah, and some equipment. So I saw that back there, yeah. I don't know I'll be honest with you, Dojo. I don't know the difference between nuclear fission and fusion. I do not. Today, I'm not trying to make it a nuclear fission and fusion lesson, but I don't know about that. Nuclear weapons and nuclear energy are not the same animal, though. No, they're not. They're not. Plenty of evidence of fraud in the first two, anyway. Photo flash bombs with napalm and mustard gas. Okay. Radium heats up water and glows green. Okay. Sorry, Professor Phil. It's pseudoscience, excuse me. They have never split an atom. Nuclear is nothing more than super expensive way to boil water Well, yeah. It's not like lasers or anything crazy is propelling this. It's just a cheap way to to uh propel the submarine, and it's a quieter way than running a diesel generator. It's quieter, and to many degrees it's safer because you don't have to worry about CO2 collecting or CO, excuse me, carbon monoxide collecting within a pressurized vessel. You understand? Helium is also made of radium. Look up death object exploding the nuclear weapons hoax, Akio Nakatani. When you shoot neutrons at highly enriched uranium, more neutrons are released, which produce more energy. Professor Phil, like I ain't gonna lie to you, like I don't know the process. Like I said, I worked around it, I did all that. Used to work in CSCAs, do drape catch work, had my TLD, like my entire fucking career, I had a TLD, except for when I flew. And yeah, like I did that. I still, which is shame on me, and I still don't know the things that you know like that and how it's produced and all that. I don't know. Nuclear energy sounds like a good way to compartmentalize and control simple energy systems, make it seem dangerous to the common man. I agree to some degree, but is it still a real thing? Yeah, I feel it's a real phenomena. I feel nuclear energy is a real phenomena. Even no matter what you want to call it, it is a form of energy that heats things up. That if you put your hands on it, it'll burn the fuck out of you and potentially kill you. I do believe that. I believe that. Nuclear reactors work on nuclear fission, extracting energy from radioactive material, while nuclear fission splits the atom to cause a chain reaction that releases the energy in an atom. I'm not going to be like, okay, okay. That's all. That's the best I can give you. All right. Verify these neutrons. Yeah. If I can't see it, I can never believe fully, but always up for discussion. Now, they have these things called Geiger counters, which in the military we call them friskers, right? And they are used to, you can hear it looking for fucking, you can hear it looking for radioactive or highly radioactive material, stuff that would end up triggering those things to go off, those detectors to go off, right? I know if you put them around certain sources, like they can go off. Like if you put them around granite, they can go off. If you put them around, those radioactive isotopes that they put in your body. If you put it around that shit, it'll go off. Those radio isotopes, radio not radioactive, those radio isotopes that they could put in your body just to light up your insides, right? It'll set one of those motherfuckers off. It'll set one of those Geiger counters, what we call, like I said, a frisker off. Most High created reality and perfection. There is no splitting the atom. We cannot hack the reality in that way, and that is why it's a hoax. Yeah, the device comes in. There have been nuclear accidents that have caused immense damage to the environment. So there's Chernobyl, there's 3 Mile Island, there's Fukushima. That's the problem. Radium was also used to heat the old world. Okay, right. This is something that I've also been learning about and that I don't fully know of, but I've been hearing about this, Sean Alki. Radium was used to heat the world that we no longer know. Right? Not rubbishing stuff, just saying levels to evidence. Okay. Donate. There's like $4 per pumpkin. Splitting the atom is like a character in an LCD TV screen cracking this pixel. That's what man is trying to do when he tries to split the pixel. Oh. Roger, what's going on, homie? We're learning about splitting the atom and nuclear power and nuclear propulsion. Hyman G. Rickover. Fukushima was a psyop. Come on, man. Huh. I don't know about Fukushima being a psyop. A lot of people died. And I know I don't know how it was a psyop, like because I had a lot of my friends that were there that had to get the fuck away from the coast. get away from the coast because they knew that shit was coming. So they had to go out from that area, and then they had to provide disaster relief. So I don't know how that was fake. Like, I don't know how that was a hoax, the Fukushima thing. I really don't. Like, there are levels to my, like, do I believe it or not? But like that one, I have a hard time not believing because I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you. Like, that shit real than a motherfucker. Very surprised someone can be awake to a flat earth truth, yet still fall for mainstream pseudoscience, scare stories of scary nukes. Well, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you, Awaken Nemesis. I'm not gonna say they're fake. I'm not. We have these missiles, we have these rockets, missiles and rockets. There I go. But we have these missiles on board. Um, we have these cruise missiles, right? And we have the ballistic sized submarines that shoot tomahawks, right? And so, like, I got to see these weapon silos. I've got to take and actually take care of these boats. And I'm not saying that they're fake. Like, I can't say that they're fake. I saw the armament. And so with all the craziness, I'm not saying that I'm not yeah, with all the craziness going on, if it was lies, it would fuck with me. It would throw me off. But with all the craziness going on, like, would it surprise me too much? We've been lied to so much. I'm like, okay, that's another one, another fucking feather in the hat of theirs that they got over on us with. You understand what I'm saying? But with me getting to experience what I've experienced and seeing what I've seen, like, we fired those fucking missiles at something. We fired them. We shot them off. We shot them off, and those boats came back empty, and we had to replenish them with more missiles, especially during the early 2000s. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of places got destroyed, a lot of people got blown up. Uh Now, what we don't really fire off in are torpedoes unless we're doing like an exercise, because we're not necessarily trying to sink a ship, or we're not trying to sink anybody. But those are real too. You can't say that those are fake. Andrew Rome, good night, homie. Carry radon around in their handbags in the 1800s. Yes, that I know. And they said that the radon killed a lot of these ladies. They said that it used to glow in the dark and that it would kill a lot of these ladies. I heard of things like this. Yeah, they bombed the hell out of them. It's because a group of people that you knew were told to move means we're told to move. I don't get it. When Hiroshima is now a healthy city. Mm. I think it's a hoax, that it was not a nuclear bomb, but a massive Moab carpet bomb. Very well could have been. Not saying that it wasn't. Very well could have been. Imagine a nuclear Zeppelin. Why did plant life start to regrow within 3 months at a most supposed? I don't. It did. I don't know, but it did. Chernobyl is like the DMZ apparently, right? The Chernobyl's like regrown. So saying that I honestly don't know too much on those topics of the nuclear stuff and why it's fake. I don't. I'm just telling you and relaying to you my experience with it. That's what I'm doing. You understand? And saying that I'd been around it. Well, actually, I was around it, but in those capacities, right? I never had a nuclear bomb dropped on me, apparently. People lived in New York thing. They know about 9/11 too. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm from New York. I wasn't there that day it happened. My family was there. I'm hearing a lot about that, but do I feel we were behind it? Absolutely. I feel our government, when I say we, not me and you, but I feel our government was totally behind it. I feel they were totally behind it. Our nukes were thought up as the ultimate threat to keep the public in check. Yes, I know that. That I understand. I understand that. Yes, and it worked for years. In nuclear fallout, there's leftover radiation half-life measures. Okay. All right. I read y'all. I'm not gonna, if you search, hold on. Created the first. That's right. You mentioned him last week. Let me make sure to asterisk that. I'm going to asterisk that, and that's going to be my first sort of business to look up. I'm not going to lie to you, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and act as if I know, because David Weiss comes out and he's like, it's all fake, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like I can't say, like, just because I'm in the community of the true earth, flat earth, like I can't agree on everything, especially if I don't know it. If I don't truly know it, I can't say, well, that's true because the flat earth community says it. That would be disingenuous. I can't, y'all, that would be disingenuous of me. That would be totally dishonest. I can't do that. Like, I don't understand that, to say that I like it's false or if it's real. Like, I can't compare apples to oranges because I don't know what oranges look like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So I'm sit here and lie to y'all. And I'm not going to just take y'all's word for it either. That's fair. That's got to be fair. Mm. All right. And I appreciate y'all for at least listening, hearing me out. And I understand you guys don't agree. And that's cool. You don't have to agree with everything I say. I don't have to agree with everything you say. And we could totally disagree with each other, but at least we're being respectful about it. And thank you guys for being respectful about it. But I'm gonna be I can't, like, my thing is I like you guys too much to fucking sit here and lie to y'all. So I'm gonna give it to you guys straight. If I know something, I'm gonna let you know what I know. But if I don't know something, I'm gonna give it to you just as hard. And I'm gonna let you know I'm ignorant to these facts, right? If there's somebody like a Professor Phil that has spent his life doing these things, let him talk, right? Let him talk about it, Professor Phil. I give you a lot of shit. And even though you're my elder, I still give you your due respect. But then there those of you like Awakened Nemesis, like Dojo, that know certain things about things that I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? And then you could probably tell us, but then it's going to be up to me as the host to do my research. And I have to look for myself eventually, just like everybody else in the chat. We have to look for ourselves, right? And it would be wrong of us to just believe what it is you say without doing our research, right? So I've got to do that, especially if I'm going to continue with this show and bring something to y'all and show you what it was like I found. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong in it, you know? And yeah, live music, what's happening, homie? It's good to see you. And Professor Phil, what's happening? It's good to see you too. I didn't say hi to you either, Professor Phil, so I apologize for that. Live music is good to see you. Dojo, what's happening? It's good to see you. I didn't say what's up. Yeah, exactly. And no, Sean Alki. That's true. They filmed the nuke, but it didn't destroy the camera. I was looking at that. I was like, I see these trees getting blown over. I was like, but the camera's over there chilling. How'd they do that? That's a good point. That's really a good point. Fake is presented. Okay. All right. But no, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. And you know, it goes to show that the lies are immense. It goes to show how deep these lies run, right? That it triggers a lot of people. You have Professor Phil here. Apparently, he's been doing this shit for a long time, right? And so it triggers him because he's like, bullshit, it ain't real. Look at all this and all that happened. But then Sean Alki presents to us a fact. We're constantly shown things like, oh, Hiroshima, this and that, right? Hiroshima got destroyed. And then they show you the fucking the explosion happened, and then they show you these palm trees getting fucking blown the fuck over. And then it's like, how did you film that? What kind of camera did you use? And so that's like a form of deception and dishonesty. Being real. Not saying that all of this stuff is all of it is fake, but some degree you gotta be like, look, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So like I see it. I see it. But if I don't understand something, I could only go off of what I see. I haven't done too much research on it. Maria Walker, sister, it's good to see you, girl. $2 trillion, take $2 trillion every year, outbid the public purse, right? So I can't sit here and fool y'all. I can't sit here and fool y'all. But the guys that do know it, like, you could speak confidently on it. I cannot. That's a Phil. That's what I'm saying. Nuclear bombs are said to be nuclear fission, the power of supposed sun fission. Fission reactors is the form of radioactive material. Fission reactors is the form of radio. The power of the supposed sun. Right. The sun, like, don't nobody know what the fuck that is. But we know it ain't a solid object. Maria Walker, again, once more, says it's good to see you. It's always Maria. Oh, what do you suppose? Okay, so my internet is starting to freeze up. Okay, what nemesis? What do you suppose would happen to a highly unstable uranium or plutonium if you shot a bunch of new? You see, when people start talking like that, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm like, I don't know, I like, that's the limit. Like, my shit goes to the city limits. That's my city limits right there. That's when I'm like, all right, I'm not like, I don't know about that. I don't know. And the thing is here's what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say, and let's kill the nuclear thing, okay? This is what I'm going to say. What we know. A lot of times we got to know what we don't know, what we truly don't know. And that's just being honest with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what separates Professor Phil. Now, I hear you, but this is what separates many a flat earther from a globe and a ball believer, right? Is that we know when to say, we know when to pull back and be like, I don't know. I don't know. You understand? And we're just honest. We're honest, despite what we were taught, especially when it turns out that what we were taught is a lie. Right? Going back to what you guys said, and I know Awakened Nemesis kind of got on me. He's like, I can't believe a flat earth. And I was like, I get it. I agree. But at the same time, I'm just relaying to you my experience. So experience is one thing, but even with all the experience that I've had with submarines, on submarines, chasing submarines, around submarines, inside of them, right? Rooter to the tutor, around all that nuclear propulsion, I still don't understand this quote unquote basic concept of nuclear power. I don't truly understand it. I just don't. Now, whether it's a lie or not, that's another story. I'm just telling you the truth based off of my experience and what I think I know. But what I also know that I don't know. And so when it comes to these claims saying that they're real or not, I can't say that that's a real thing because I didn't see any explosion in my face, right? I didn't see that. All I could go is off of certain testimonies. We have Professor Phil's testimony as a professor, right? That's what he does for a living. Even though that's what you do for a living, Professor Phil, I don't know what your experience is. And I'm not saying you're at 70 years old and you're a professor. I would imagine that you've gone to seminars, you've spoken with guys, done some research. This is what you do. This is how you bread your butter. We've experienced and all these other lies, I could see why everybody's like, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. So the two of us need to meet somewhere and like talk, yes, but take it with a grain of salt, absolutely. Because here's the thing: this much we do know, this much we could say with confidence. The majority of things that we were taught are lies. You too, Professor Phil, a lot of what they've taught you is a lie. A lot of what you've been taught is a lie, unfortunately. And we clearly see that because you still believe that the earth is a ball. So you've been lied to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here and I'm not trying to jump on your case because you're a grown man, right? You're an elder. So because of that alone, I have respect for you, right? And you've done things, you've been places, and for those things, I'm gonna give you your due respect. At the same time, uh, we see many things for what they truly are. And once you break that threshold and you see these things for what they truly are, you can't unsee them. And that's the thing. LaShawn Alki, you hit the nail right on the head. 95% of it are lies, right? I mean, of course, that's a rudimentary number of ours, but in other words, the majority of what we're seeing and experiencing is a lie. It is an absolute lie. And what's crazy is now that we're starting to see these channels like you know, the My Lunch Breaks, the old world channels. They're so listen, there are so many old world, the John Levy's, the John Levy's, all these old world channels that are showing these things to us and demonstrating to us that what we once thought was the truth is an absolute lie. And it's a hard reality to swallow, but it's reality nonetheless. And so basically we have to go back and we have to look at things. There's another one, Lucius Aurelian, right? Lucius Aurelian. Shout out to Lucius Aurelian. A lot of these old world channels. All right. So in your car, you have a case with a Geiger counter and several nuclear sources, including americium. I just finished doing electric, which is crazy. Wow, that's wild. You probably can't just walk around with it in your hand and be like, "Hey, by the way." Ewing Jr. says even modern languages are a recent fabrication, like within a couple of 100 years, that the Arabic was a primary language and literal group of people. Yeah, okay, I could see this. I could see this. Um, Hard times tend to reveal truth. Yes, they do. I agree. They're losing the evolution lie with dinosaurs. You can tell. Yes. And that's another thing, Awakened Nemesis. That's a really good point that I kind of want to address as well. All right. They've been saying for years to us that oil comes from dead dinosaurs, dead plants, dead biomatter, and everything else like that. When we're now starting to, and this is something I never could fucking subscribe to. I was like, so all this dead stuff is what produces oil, but we give oil to the whole world. They're like, well, that's how old the world is. I'm like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And so as a kid, I used to think this is what I thought in my mind without any prior knowledge. I just thought that the world somehow, like it has water, makes oil. Has oil the same way it has the ocean water. The same way it has lakes, it has oil. This is what I thought as a kid. I just, because I was like, the concept of dying dinosaurs and dying matter producing oil that we pump and put in a car that we burn up and then we just keep having it. I said, that's a lie. That ain't true. I was like, that ain't true. This world somehow has oil, just has oil. And so this is something they need to backtrack on. They're not necessarily discussing anymore, right? That dinosaurs is what makes the oil. They're not saying that anymore. And so this is something that Awakened Nemesis, it's a good thing that you mentioned that because I feel this is something that needs to be addressed. And like, yo, again, another thing that we've been lied to about. You see what I'm saying? So, Professor Phil, like I feel what you're saying because your experience with the stuff and you're demonstrating what you know and what you've been taught and what you feel is the reality. But you have to understand our plight. And I'm not saying that everything that you've been taught is a lie because I don't know fully everything that you've been taught. And I'm not going to claim it's a lie and it's bullshit. But I could tell you the vast majority of what everyone in this world has been taught, including you, is a lie. It's a lie. I think the hardest part, Professor Phil, is your title and the title that we don't have. We're not professors. You understand? I don't even have, I got 2 degrees. All right. Right armpit, left armpit. That's actually my right and my left. I'm just kind of mirrored, y'all. But I have 2 degrees. right? And so I don't have the credentials as far as college like you do, Professor Phil. Many of us don't. Many of us in here aren't college professors. But one thing I notice is about the learned people that are of a learned pedigree, they tend to dismiss the truth that's right in front of their eyes because they get scope locked inside of a book. They look in a book, they're like, oh, the book says, but the book says, but the book says, the book says this. It's probably this. And then they start a lot of people start coming up with their own logic to come up with answers as to what's before them, what's in front of their face. Well, the reason we don't see the curvature is because we're too low to the ground. But then you climb up higher and you still don't see no curvature. Then you climb up even higher and you still don't see no curvature. But the curvature, the reason we don't see it is because we're too close to the earth. And then you climb up even higher and you still don't see no curvature. You send a motherfucking helium balloon with that material. Yeah, and you look out to the horizon, and as you look out to the horizon, it's still flat. Unless you curve the lens, unless you have one of those parabolic lenses, which it's not going to be flat. But here's the thing, and it sucks. It really sucks. And that's a really good point. That's a really good point on unindoctrinated, Ryan-nated, right? When you pay for lies, when you pay to learn lies, you become blind to the truth. That's the problem, right? And and hey, look, back in the day, I dated a girl that she got mad at me because like it was during the pandemic and I was explaining to her, and I probably shouldn't have said that. I'm probably going to get struck. Whatever. I ain't getting paid for this shit anyway. So she got mad at me because I was like, I don't know about this fucking shot, man. And she was like, what do you mean you don't know about the shot? What? You didn't get it? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, I know friends that died. I was like, I know people that died from something. I don't know what. But I was like, but this was in 2022, right? And this was in July. No, it was in June of 2022, just newly retired, right? And I'm like, I don't know about this fucking shot, man. Like it doesn't seem right. She was like, oh, well, you mean to tell me, and this is where what Ryan says right here makes so much fucking sense. She said, so I spent all this money in my biology class to be lied to. And I had to call a strike. I was like, yeah, they're lying to you. She was like, we're done with this date. The date's over. Fuck you. I'm like, I was like, what did I say? She was like, I can't believe you're a fucking vax denier. I was like, what? She was like, you don't think vax? And I said, look, man. I said, okay, fine. I said, you don't have to agree with me, but you know, you ain't gotta agree. Okay, I did kind of say that. I did kind of say that. That was back in the day, man. I was back in the day. But she did get upset and she was like, yo, I can't date you. She cussed me out, first of all. I was like, oh man, you should let me smash anyway. But she didn't because she was mad. And that's what it was. She was so upset and so bent out of shape for me calling the bullshit out for what it was, right? But I didn't mention to her the people that I knew that had gotten sick getting the shot. I didn't want to even bring it up to her, but I knew people that got sick after getting the shot. I knew a couple of people that did, and they were young. They were young people. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, look, I don't just because you narrative they want to continue to run. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to be like, oh, you know what? It turns out the appendix is actually worth keeping. So we're going to change the books tomorrow in exam. No, you don't ignore that part of the exam, because we're structured here in this education system, in this college, to teach you a certain way, and that's what you're going to learn, despite what reality says. Even if it says even if God ain't gonna put extra parts in your body just for extra fucking parts. If you don't know what the fucking part of that body does, you just don't fucking know. You're gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? God ain't just putting extra parts in people because he's like, well, I got these parts. I might as well just give you some more fingers or an extra hand. No, if your body don't need it, he ain't putting it in there. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. So, so we still get taught the same bullshit. Everybody still gets taught 9.8 meters per second squared, despite what the evidence is about gravity. It doesn't matter. We're still going to be taught scalar quantity, vector quantities, right? We're still going to be taught the whole freaking brick and the feather experiment. We're still going to be taught that, despite what the truth is. It doesn't matter. And you want to know something? People that think they know better, they're going to come to you as a true earther or a flat earther. And they're going to say, well, it doesn't make sense because you could drop a brick and you could drop a feather at the same time. And it shows that gravity works on them the same way. And it's like, oh my God. Well, of course, when you drop a brick and a feather, and then they drop it the same based on the lack of air pressure and everything else when you put them in a vacuum. That's what I'm discussing. And so then we have to kind of school them as to what the reality is based off of what. If they choose not to follow up, that's another form of dishonesty. And you have to call a strike when you recognize it. It's just a form of dishonesty. Me, I'm not being dishonest. I'm being totally open and honest. When I say I don't know, I don't know. So when you present something to me, like, I entertain it and I listen to it and I mention it, but I don't, like, I can't say that I believe it or I know and I understand, because I don't understand because I don't know it. It's that simple. So don't fault me, y'all. Don't hate me, but appreciate me, please. All right. I want that much at least from you. Jono Edwards, Macho Man. It's good to see you, bro. Jono Edwards, it's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. Full normie, just go full normie for fun. Riley Studios, it's good to see you, brother. It is good to see you, brother. Yeah, man. Ryan, I'm gonna go full normie, Jono Edwards. Yeah. The Vatican are in control of Islamic terror. They want perpetual ignorance and lies. World War lies, and they love it. Yeah, man. This place is all upside down. And then you have the regular folks. All we're trying to do is work, send our kids to school, educate our kids, love on our kids, work, and live normal lives, man. We just want to eat, live well, and love on each other. These wars and all this crazy shit, that's their fucking, that's stuff that they're causing. These problems, that's stuff that they're causing. Like, you just had the southeast of the United States have problems with their electricity, and guess what? The government ain't coming. The government ain't coming. That's the harsh fucking reality of it all. Government ain't coming. They just aren't. Ain't no FEMA, ain't nobody there to help. This is why when I said having like the things like an emergency action plan, this is why I say get with your communities, do the things, get your freaking straws that clean the water. Keep water on hand, right? Keep food on hand, dried food, canned food, pickled food, all that stuff. Keep these things on hand. Ration your food. Be prepared to ration out the food. Have things like a solar generator. Have things like a gas powered generator, a solar powered generator, right? Start being of that mind and start let's see, hold on. Okay, so there is something that I think I showed you guys the last time, right? When one of the more important things to have is water, right? Having the generators, having the water, because the government is not coming. The reason I'm talking about the government is because Vatican, you guys mentioned the Vatican and all the lies and stuff like that. Well, we're getting smarter. What I mean by that is we're starting to come into ourselves and we're starting to see the world for the lies that it is. The world for all the lies that have been presented to us. And these motherfuckers are gonna fucking try to pull the sheet from under us and send us to the fucking valley of spikes, and we're fucked. Dojo, hot terms of radiation. Okay, we're still on the radiation tip. Straws only last so long. It's very, very easy to filter water. You can use things like, okay, things right out of the backyard. But Jeebus Crisp, I read you. It's good to learn these things, and it's good to buy survivalist books. But as far as not knowing, and as far as doing the easy stuff you could do it. We can all do the small stuff. The other stuff is like Survivor Man. Not fully, but I could do a lot of the other stuff, right? But I like to have the things readily available instead of going to my backyard and turning it into a fucking MacGyver experiment. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to know these things when shit hits the fan. It's good to know them in case you're starting to run out. That you're readily available and you could do it like this. And it's good to practice them. It's always, let's be real. A lot of people don't know, but a lot of people do know that those rainy days do come, right? No pun intended, but a lot of these guys have been experiencing the rainy days at their worst. And so these hurricanes have been knocking a lot of power out. And the gas stations, so much so that the gas stations stop pumping gas. It's that fucking bad, right? So as they run out of gas, machines stop coming to them. It's hurricane season already. I don't think hurricane season stops up until November, right? Hurricane season doesn't stop up until then. Plus, water. A lot of these guys are having a hard time getting water, right? Do you know about the water powered car? Yes, I heard about that. Really well. I'm preaching the David Ewing Jr. gospel today. It's interesting. Yeah. So I heard about the water powered car. I heard about that and the guys that they killed that tried to put it out there on the market. I don't know much about radiation, but I thought that nobody was actually ever seen an atom. I've never seen one, Maria Walker. I'm not a doomsday prepper or anything like that, but I know enough to where me and mine get along just fine. Jeebus Chris, you don't have to be a prepper necessarily, right? You don't have to be. But what's important is that at least you get along, you get with your community, you get with your neighbors, and you guys have an emergency plan. Because the neighbors, that's where it's going to boil down to, what do my neighbors have? Can my neighbors help me? If you don't know what you're doing, many of you may go and rely on somebody else if you don't know what you're doing. That's what the truth is. That's the honest to God truth. You know what I'm saying? And so we had bad words about a year ago. Good to see you. You're a flat earther now. No, the Chris Creek, it's good to see you, homie. The professor's still of, but it's good to see him still. Yeah, it's still good to see him regardless. But no, like, it's just good to have these things on hand. Now, what I wanted to show you guys, and I'm gonna put this in the description, or not the description, but rather in the chat. But I want to show this to you guys, right? This is called Find a Spring. So this is these guys that did this. Hey, shout out to the guys that created Find a Spring, but this is labor intensive. This will bring you to your local spring wherever it is you live. So where I live is in VA. right? I live in VA, and here are the things by where I'm at, right? All around here are local springs. And this is right. So that's water from the earth coming to you. I'm going to put that right here. Okay. There you go. And then I'm going to put that right. Okay. There it is right there. I'm going to pin it at the top. Okay. Find the spring. In case you need to get water, local water that's nearby you, you have access to it. You understand? Phil's info. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Dojo. Phil does science even as these rudimentary questions anymore, or do they just build convention? There's an easy method on underground water too. What do you douse Jeebus Crisp? I'm just fucking with you. But dowsing, I guess, is still an old school technique. You don't really need the copper. I can really use my arms, but copper makes it easier. Swimming pools, when digging swimming pools, you need is copper rods. Oh, so yeah, so you do dowsing when looking for water lines. Okay, so you do dowse. You kind of have parallel the lines, the two rods parallel to the deck. Kind of have them hanging in your hand. Yeah. The dowsing. And once they cross, as they get closer, it'll point you in the direction. And once they cross, it'll be like wink, wink, wink. And once you get closer and closer, once they cross, you're like right over the spot of where the water is. Yeah, I've seen dowsing. It's pretty tight. It's a pretty. I'm not saying it's a pseudoscience, but that's something I definitely need to do a little bit more research on as well. Dowsing. I've always found dowsing interesting. And I've seen the one where people take a branch of U and it's split in a Y. And they walk around with the U branch that's split like a wishbone kind of. And then as they walk, it drops in the direction of where the water is directly beneath them. I've seen that type of dowsing as well. You know, if many of y'all have seen the old Bugs Bunny cartoons with dudes dowsing and shit, that's how old folks used to do it, apparently. Right? Terracotta plant as a water filter. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no. Hey, Jeebus Crisp, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying, like, I find it interesting. And I'm definitely going to look into it. All right, you can use Unicoat's terracotta plant pot as a water filter. Yes, I heard this too. This is the clay pot. It's slow but works. The water goes right through the pot. Yes, I've seen that. Yes, the clay pot. Heard good things about dowsing, and I've seen good things about dowsing, and it looks like it works. First time I heard about seems a bit far out. Right. I'll only buy a house in rural areas where I can have well water. It's the best when using reverse osmosis. Yes, I agree. It's funny you're mentioning this. I was just watching info on dowsing yesterday. Yeah, man. It's a remarkable thing. And I'm not fucking with you, Jeebus Crisp. I think it's all remarkable. I think it's totally remarkable. But and that's it. X does mark the spot, a common name. Although telling it is its title, BS name. X does mark the spot. Okay, I wonder if that's where X marks the spot comes from, because people use dowsing for all sorts of stuff too, not just water. Oh, so that's it. Find a spring. I'm going to get off that. Stop showing that. But at least you guys know what that is, and that if you need to get fresh water, spring water, at least you know to go to that site. Make sure you take that site, you put it in your bookmarks, and you save it. You bookmark it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you bookmark it, and at least visit the site. That's what I would recommend. I visited my site a few times, the one closest to me. At least visit the site, know what it looks like, how to get there, how to get access to it. Okay. When you live on a lying water covered spinning ball using gravity, everything is a theory based off of an initial lie. That's absolutely true. Yes. And so, Professor Phil, if you're listening, this is why we're kind of hard on you a little bit, because you're of the learned class, I guess you could say. Not saying that everybody else in here isn't of the learned class, but you're like a professor, right? So your job is to profess what it is you were taught and what it is you researched. So looking at this right here, it spells it all, right? When you live on a lie, that's right. The total foundation of everything we've learned, excuse me, is a lie. It is a lie. And so as soon as you pull the rug from under it, everything comes crumbling down, unfortunately. Everything else is built off of the lie, so it's null and void. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? It's kind of like building your house on sand. You know, when you build that house on sand, it's useless because as soon as the wind blows or something happens, the sand moves, your house is done. You can't build your house on sand. You have to build it on that rock, right? Riley Studios. Okay. So one more. You just bend the copper rock and slide them in a couple of straws so that they can. Okay, you put them in the straws instead of in your hand. You held them in your hand and then it like did its thing. Bookmarked. Yes, good on you, Maria. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. PhD in bullshit awareness. In bullshit awareness. I like that. Awakened nemesis. I like that shit. The professor is smart. He's not here for no reason. No. Hey man, Professor Phil, I give him props, especially for tolerating all the fucking the storm of craziness and anger that he got from us for a while. But Professor Phil is here, and so definitely we're gonna treat him with respect. He's our guest, and he has his beliefs, you know, whether he believes us totally or not, but he understands where it, at least hopefully, Professor Phil, you're understanding where it is we're coming from and why we're saying what it is we're saying. And what we're saying is, you understand? We've learned much of the same thing that you learned. You understand what I'm saying? We learn the same things, much of the same things. Of course, you've got advanced degrees, so you learned a whole lot more. So it's almost as if you learned, I'm not saying that you did, but I'm saying it's almost as if we learned a basic lie. You just learned more advanced lying. Not saying that what you're learning is to lie, but you've just learned more lies piled up on top of lies. So kind of like what Awakened Nemesis said is theory on top of theory on top of theory on top of theory, which I'm sure based off of the lies and the bullshit, you came up with theories. I know I did when I was a kid and or when I was much younger. I was around like 17, 18. I was into physics and everything else like that. I was understanding about how the world worked, right? And I was like, man, we're on a ball moving around this, but it's, and I thought it was a complete circle, a total, like a regular 360-degree circle, but they said it was an ellipse. I was like, okay, an ellipse. And so you have the moon at one focus, and then something on the outside that's not there that would, I guess you could say, is a pretend focus, right? So it's on two ends of the ellipse. So if you had an egg, two dots on either side of the extreme side of the egg, right? And I was like, and that's what the earth is moving inside of. And so I came up with theories based off of that lie. I came up with why earthquakes work. I was like, the reason we have earthquakes is possibly our proximity to certain planets and this and that. I was coming up with all kinds of bullshit that didn't mean nothing. But the thing is, I sincerely believed my bullshit. It was my bullshit, though. But all that bullshit was based off of a lie. The lie that this bitch moves and it moves around the sun. And so I was taking myself down a rabbit hole. And yes, it's totally interesting chatting with you, and no problem, Professor Phil. And so I totally took myself down the rabbit hole by lying to, I guess you could say by theorizing, aka lying to myself, as to how the earth functioned. Meanwhile, none of that shit meant anything. Verifiable demonstrable physics is good, theoretical physics bad. It's good. Theoretical physics is bad, yes. Do you know about James Corbett and his Corbett report, James Corbett? If not, that would be a really great place to land and understand the origins of the lies. James Corbett. All right. So James Corbett report, I got that down. Drop a like and take a hike. Yep. Professor Phil, much appreciated, brother. It's good to see you, sir. The Professor and Marianne here on Gilligan's Isle. Forever Flowers. Forever Flowers. Hey, Forever Flowers, what's going on, sis? James Corbett is awesome. I'm going to check him out. James Corbett and the Corbett report. Yes, yes. But I'm going to check those things out. Now, yeah. And so I was leading myself down lies that I thought was totally the truth. It's now that we're starting to come into what the truth is, but you have people that are out there, and what I think is shameful is they're using black faces to tell more lies, right? And it's because here's the thing, it's so fucking perfect and it's so strategic, right? The majority of these lies came from white faces. These professors, these theorists, your Einsteins, you know, you name them, all these people that ran the rocket programs, all white people, right? And so now that we're starting to see the lies for what they are, they're trying to use black people, your Billy Carsons, your Neil deGrasse Tysons, you know, that movie Hidden Colors. They're starting to use black people to try and push this lie and say, oh, and then here's what's clever. This is what's really clever. They used black people to say, oh, see, it's not a lie because you had hidden colors, you had hidden figures, or hidden colors, hidden figures, whatever it was, with those black people. No, and colors, no, right? And so this is how they get you. This is how they get you to have to believe the lie. They're like all these educated black people. So you're saying they're lying too? Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's lying. He's an educated black dude. You can't say he's lying. So they get you, especially if you fall for that bullshit. That can fuck with your mind. They put people like Neil Tyson out there, PhD in physics, and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And they use that to make you say, well, maybe they're not lying. Because all those white folks were lying to me, but black people would never lie to me like that. Bullshit. You wave enough money in a motherfucker's face, they will lie to you till the cows come home. Bullshit. Bullshit. So, yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's a liar working for the liars. Billy Carson, he's a fucking, I don't know what the fuck he is, but he sounds smart, sounds super intelligent. People fall for him because he's chic. You don't typically see black people in this arena talking the shit that he talks, but he sounds good, looks good, and so you believe the bullshit that he says. He's a liar just like they are. The Anunnaki came down sounding like Zechariah Sitchin. The Anunnaki came down from where? From planet Nibiru. Okay. Planet Nibiru. Where's that? Where's planet Nibiru at? Oh, it's in the Zeta Reticuli out there doing this. Oh, yeah. How you know? Because they showed us in the pyramids. How you know? Did you read that? Who showed you that? Where'd you learn that? Where'd you learn this? And so you got them dudes saying the same bullshit. And then the crazy thing is if you don't, because if you look inside the pyramids, how do you know? Did you go inside the pyramids and you looked at that? They showed that to you inside the pyramids. Did you see that? And so this is what we've been told and what many of us have been fed, right? And then originally it started off with white people telling us this lie. Now it's black people perpetuating the lie. And they make the movies Hidden Figures, Hidden Colors, whatever it is, with those ladies like what's her name? I forgot her name, but Kevin Costner's in it as their boss, right? And I'm not saying that they're stupid. That's not what I'm. You need people to continue a narrative. You need people like that to help push a lie, because you have some kind of ownership in that. I would have would claim to have some kind of ownership in that, being black, that I'd be black. I'd be proud. I'm like, oh, they're black people accomplishing big things. But what big thing is it if it's a bullshit? What big thing is it if it's a lie? So this is where a lot of us as black folks, a lot of us, we want to bow out, because if it comes to telling the truth or supporting our people, I think the best way to support our people is just by telling the truth. It's the best way to support black people is just by telling it like it is. If this earth is flat, then flat. Sorry, ladies, you guys have been working for a fucking lying organization. NASA's a bunch of liars. So they're going to use your story to push more lies. They're going to make the Hidden Figures, Hidden Colors, whatever the fuck that is, movie name is. They're going to push the guys like Ronald McNair, the black astronaut. They're going to push these dudes. And they're going to make it seem as if, oh, look at all the things our brothers and sisters accomplished. They're liars. I don't know what to tell you, man. I could tell you this much. It's flat. So there's something, they're lost in translation somewhere. And so somebody's not telling the truth. Because based off of everyone's observations, even a Glober's observation, even a Glober is going to do the test that we run. They're going to find the earth to be flat as well. That shit that Nat Geo did, that experiment that they did, where they had the lines, the red lines, the black line and the red line, and then they moved it on a horizon. It turned out to be false. That's a lie. We know that that's a lie because we see too far. And that's not a lie because that's the truth. See, here's the crazy thing, man. The truth is so fucking easy because it doesn't need any defending. Either you're looking for it or you're not. And if you don't look for it, then that's a shame on you. There's nothing we could do about that. Then that's a you problem, not an us problem. We did our part. We exposed it to you. But everything with the racism the way it is in this world, and even white folks, black folks, everybody is disillusioned with what we've been taught, black and white alike. But the way they get on you white people is they'll be like, you see, these guys lied to you, but you see, we got black people, they wouldn't lie to you. This is how they got Obama in office too. This is why he was so effective, because they were like, the black guy won't lie like the white guys did. And this is why it was perfect putting Barack Obama in office. It was perfect. And this is why it's perfect to put somebody like Kamala Harris, try to get her ass in office, because she's other than black. She is not black, whatever. She's other than, right? She's brown skinned. But it's easy to get somebody like that in the office because all your life as a white person, you've been told lies by the same group of people. So you're like, the alternative would be a little bit better. No, the alternative is the same fucking thing. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, those guys are liars too. Black people are liars too. I'm not going to sit here and be like black people lie less than white people. People lie, people tell the truth. Black, white, the same. It just so happens that those that have been running the show have been white and they've been lying to you. So now they're going to try and dump a bunch of black motherfuckers in your face and give you those same fucking lies but make it chic. You know what I'm saying? This is why motherfuckers like Neil deGrasse Tyson is so that dude that's with Neil deGrasse Tyson all the time. He looked mad sweet. You know what I'm saying? He's part of it. So what's going to appear? It doesn't matter. It may appear cool, still bullshit. Doesn't matter how you slice it, still a lie. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of black folks believe the globe, unfortunately. They believe the globe. I think if black folks were to come into the flat earth, the true earth, it would open a lot of our eyes. It would open a lot of our eyes. But then again, a lot of black folks don't see the value in understanding that this earth is what it is. They don't see the value in it. They're like, how's that going to put food on my table? They're of that mind. Many of them, not all of them, but many are. They don't understand the benefit of understanding the truth of what this place is. And it's because it's indoctrination, man. It's the indoctrination that we all have been indoctrinated. It's just that many of our people, we're late to the show. And we don't feel that there's any added benefit to understanding that this earth is flat, because we have things that are happening to the community and everything else. I'm like, look, the more information you know, the better. The more info you know, the better. And since many Black folks like to think that they're spiritual, that they like to think that they follow the scriptures, they follow God, I'm like, that would be an added benefit to know that this earth is flat, and it would just give credence to the Bible that you read, or whatever the scriptures are that you read. You know what I'm saying? It would give credence to it. But that's just me thinking ahead. And so they think, I'll tell you straight up, man, a lot of Black people think that it's a white people thing. They're like, oh, the flat earth, that's what white people think. So I have to remind a lot of Black people that, and my own people, I got to remind us, like, so then the ball earth is a Black people thing. You learn the ball earth from nothing but Black people. That's what you're saying. That's what you're trying to fool me with. That's what you're trying to tell me, that only Black people believe that the earth is a ball. Like, I'm like, that's such an insult. Like, it's crazy the shit that we talk, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And so even when you present to them the truth, they're like, well, why does it matter? And it's like, well, you try to explain to them, and then they're like, I gotta wake up. And the same thing that Flat Earth Dave talks about. And then, and then what they'll say is, why does it even matter? Why the lie? Because I still got to wake up in the morning. I still got to go to work, and I got to wake up in the morning. I got 3 Bitcoin for you. You know what I'm saying? Flat Earth Dave, still, he's right, though. I know I make fun of him all the time, but he's right. And so that's what they hit you with a lot of times. They hit you with the, why does this even matter? What does this got to do with me? And then it's like, man, we're going to be stuck in the same circle. We're stuck in the same perpetual circle because Hosea 4:6. If you don't know what Hosea 4:6 is, look that up. Hosea 4:6. In case you don't know, Hosea 4:6. A lot of times we're at the party late. What does this matter to me? Why do I have to even know about this? So yeah. I tried to wake up my bestie at work with the whole Tupac Diddy debacle. She seemed to wake up for a second, then she went back to struggle. She went right back to sleep. She was like, good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to sleep. Did you know you earn a living on the rivers logging? They used to be charged actual cargo genius. Wow, I did not know that. It demoralized through rap music, profane culture for the purpose of demoralizing the West. Yes, we're all victims. Man, it's unfortunate. Yeah. And the synagogue of Satan is at the forefront of it all. They are. Unfortunately, they are. Reese and folks start to really see, they will go insane. Yeah, man. It's wild the amount of people that are behind the deliberate blinding of people in general. I was at last year's secret white folks meeting. One of the speakers was very upset about a Black finding this stuff out. Really? Why were they upset? Well, you know what? This is how twisted the world is. This is how people are going to be racist. You're still going to have it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yeah. We're going to be worried about food in the next year. Farms in Canada hit hard this season. 23% carbon tax. My God. Like, yeah, I don't think we really understand the of what's about to befall us, but it looks like it's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. and winter's coming. I tried to debate a guy about the flat earth the other day. He had a degree in physics. He was too indoctrinated to communicate with. And yeah, GT Mustang, what's going on, brother? And Keith Spencer, what's happening as well? I apologize for not greeting you guys. But yeah, that's interesting what Keith Spencer just said. But that don't know, people that aren't ready, and a lot of people ain't ready, man. A lot of people just aren't ready. Time will tell who comes out on the other side and who makes it, who doesn't. It's going to be interesting times. This is why getting with our communities is going to become so important here in the years to come. Your community, you're going to have to rely on your community. You're going to have to lean on your community. You're going to have to, man. Bill Withers didn't make that song for no reason. We all need somebody to lean on. You know what I'm saying? So the community is going to have, our communities are going to have to know each other, learn each other, and work together and get strong with one another. You understand? 82 Mustang, not a GT though. One more quarter. One more quarter. Oh, one more quarter. Where you at? Good to see you, bro. I mean, kill each other regardless of color, shape, or yeah, that's right. They will. The government is absolutely useless, man. We've given them power. They're absolutely useless. They're absolutely useless. North Carolina, there are many people cut off because of the roads. Yes, yes. So Forever Flowers, you know about that. Looting is getting violent. People are desperate for food and water. Yes. It's wild. It's crazy. Going for another Bolshevik revolution. Yeah. They will start with controlling and confiscating food. Yep. Jesus. And the truckers, the longshoremen and everybody. Shit ain't coming in. Dudes is going on strike. That's the reality. Nate X. Oh, Nate X. Nate X. When Maria Walker. You could definitely rely on us. You must get with the people around you, Maria Walker. I don't know who the people are, but look for those that are of like mind. Look for those that are of like mind. Look for those that are of like mind, Maria Walker. They're out there. They may look crazy, but they got all the sense in the world. It's bad, yes. And it, from what I'm hearing, it is bad in North Carolina. Jesus, and that's right down the road. So Nate X, I don't know where in VA you're at. To that meeting, I'm Irish. They don't like us. I don't know who's they. Who's they that don't like you? We're glad you gave us something. It's something. Yeah. Oh, you in? Oh shit, Nate X. What's up, man? Fairfax, man. You my neighbor. I used to live in Chantilly back in the day. I used to live in Chantilly or Aldi actually, but I worked in Chantilly. Nate X, I'm sure you can imagine where I worked. I worked in Chantilly. I'm sure you know. Stage collapse learned your native plants. That's right. Mushrooms learn your herbs. That's right. And you bet Maria Walker anytime, sis, anytime. The whole recession, food shortage, it's the scam. Our father made this earth. Exactly. That's what it is. Yes, Chris Creek. This earth produces as much food as you want and are willing to toil for. The earth will give. As long as you're ready to toil a little bit, get a little bit of dirt in your fingernails, this world will provide you all the food, all the water. Forever Flowers. Okay. Forever Flowers, where you at? Where in Virginia you at? Where in VA you at? Yeah. So yeah, this world, and you hit the nail right on the head. Chris Creek hit the nail right on the head. This earth is abundant with food, with water. There is plenty of clean food. There is plenty of water. So when I hear those turkeys like Bill Gates talking all that shit, talking about we're running out of food, we're running out of people, we're running out of earth, I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't never been to no Nebraska, have you? You've never been to no Wyoming. Ain't nobody in these places. Colorado, empty as hell. Empty. You hear me? Arizona, there's so many spots out there. And okay, sure. Is it arid in those places? Sure. But you could retrain that ground. You could retrain that earth and have it give you what it is you want. You can do it. They're making places in Africa that were once arid, still kind of arid, but starting to produce food for them. Places in Africa that they're doing it. Places in China that they're doing it with. So if they could do it in those places, we could do it in Death Valley over here. You could do it here too. You could do it here. You see Trump calling for a 24-hour purge to clear up crime. He announced it in collaboration with the Fraternal Order of the Free. Oh my God. Oh no, I did not hear about that. You're going to have to point me in the direction for that, Awakened Nemesis. No, I did not hear of no 24-hour purge. But I'll tell you what, arm yourself, protect your families. The secret white people meeting, the Bilderbergs or whatever. I think most of them attended your favorite synagogue. Oh. Yeah, that I need to know what Awakened Nemesis is talking about as well, Maria Walker. On the edge of West Virginia and Kentucky. I'm in the dense mountains. Okay. Okay, you're out there in the Appalachians. It's a beautiful area. Johnny Appleseed's town. The blessings of curse in the Old Testament. All of Congress out of session October. Oh boy. Blessings and curses. Blue Letter Bible. Sugar pumpkins, carrots, potatoes, all easily to grow and store with massive yields. You know what? Growing pumpkins. Now I'm stuck with these sprouts, and it's like, fuck, I gotta do this shit over again. I gotta do my pumpkins over again. I was up. So now in my house, I'm growing mango, and I'm growing mango, I'm growing longan, and I'm growing dragon fruit. Why do I even need a dragon fruit? I'm like, whatever, man. I'm growing it anyway. Yard, of course, yes. Right, have Bigfoot out there. Yeah, Bigfoot. They probably do have Bigfoot out there. The fake fear is to keep all sheep in Yes, I agree. Yes, it's fear, but at the same time, be prepared for the bullshit that they're going to pull. Be prepared for it. It's a little bit late because this is the harvest to be planting Maria Walker typically, but I mean, you could still grow indoors, but you have to have the setup to be growing indoors. Or if you have a greenhouse, you could also grow in there. Maria Walker, I have not seen Bigfoot. Joe, no. Shave on the harvest. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. They are eliminating the biodiversity in this realm that we live on. They're doing their best, or at least bring it down, slow it down enough to where it fucks with how we try to grow our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? To where they can control the food or the produce, the food output, and everything. Yeah, yeah. Little root foods and stuff like that. Potatoes, garlic, onions. That's right. Ginger, if the weather permits. That's right. Ginger, sugarcane. You could grow these things. Yeah, dragon fruit is real. Dino fruit. Dino fruit. Oh my God, you're crazy. Is that a good thing, Forever Flowers? Yeah, Jonah Edwards. People always the worst in reality. It just gets a little bit more expensive and harder every year slowly. Yeah, until you're out there stealing finally. Or until you're paying for half the shit, stealing half the shit. That's what they want. They want it to be fucking chaos like. Mm. Macadamias, mangoes are weeds here. Serious. Macadamias and mangoes. Are you in Hawaii? Are you on one of those Fijian islands, Jono Edwards? What sacred people then? Bigfoot, maybe helping folks in Asheville right now. Yeah. A large alignment of Mars news. Oh wow. January 21st. Oh wow. Uh-oh. That's an important time. Anglex indoor grow light is amazing. How low energy grows everything on the Amazon. Wow. You have a worm farm. Well, a worm farm is good because a worm will till the earth for you, and it will make your soil richer. So having worms is good. Not too many worms. Of course, you want to have a lot of soil, but worms is good. Inauguration day occurs every 4 years on January 20th or January 21st. Yeah. Yeah. So January 20th, 21st, it becomes that's the age of that's the constellation. That's the zodiac there. All right. Now, interesting. Let's see. That doesn't sound like a good time. Who knows? Jonah Edwards, I'm speaking about their punishment from Assyrian captivity. They're in a rubber. And you could add those worms to soil, and they can make your soil more rich. Okay. When you put the soil, when you add them to your soil, they can make it more rich. You add a little bit of water and stuff, you feed, or it feeds based it's good for whatever you're trying to go grow. If whatever you're trying to grow grows best in that type of soil. The worms, you're eating worms, Michael. Michael, you're eating worms. Did you know that, Michael? The worm poop. Yes, 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 yes. Castings, what they call worm poop. Okay. Anton Howard is a plant guy, it seems like. That's amazing. Sunchokes can grow really tall as well, 12 feet. Now, guys, be mindful that if you live in a more temperate region, like in the United States, like that's damn near everywhere except Florida and southern Texas and Louisiana and stuff like that. If you live in those in more of the more temperate regions, um, it can be tough. If you live in the north, like Minnesota and shit, it could be a little tough. It could be tough, but understand your get a few books, right? Get a few books. Download a few YouTube videos. Download them on how to grow and where to grow, right? How to grow, where to grow, specifically in your region, and just grow the stuff. Grow the stuff that you might need. Grow small stuff. Grow herbs, right? Grow your freaking basils. Grow your chives. Grow the big stuff. Grow the potatoes. Grow the onions. Onions are easy. Potatoes are easy. beets are easy. Grow those things, right? Especially if you live in the more northern regions. Grow your root foods, right? You could grow them. You could do it. You could do it. And when you're eating your own food, it hits different, man. When you're eating your own stuff, it totally hits different as opposed to running to the supermarket. Even if you go to the farmer's market, it's different when you eat your own shit that you grow. You have a fig tree on it. So produce. Oh, I also have lychee. I have a lychee tree that I'm growing as well. I have a lychee tree, and lychee takes a while. Yeah, fig. Yeah, fig. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And hopefully those figs is beautiful and sweet. I like figs. Rosemary, chives, and bell pepper. That's what my friends were saying a few weeks back, Mario Walker. Weird. He also mentioned the rapture date then. Now, I'll tell you what. Whatever you grow, and if you grow it in abundance, get with your community. Find out who's growing what. Get with those growers, right? Sponges and cleaning. Also growing loofah. Oh wow, that's weird. I don't know how you grow loofah. That's weird. But yeah, get with your communities, man. Talk with these people. See what people are growing. See what people are putting out there. You know what I'm saying? See what people are putting out there for the rest of the community. See if you're growing stuff in abundance, like bring it out there. Bring it out there, and you could sell. You can give to the community as well, right? Right. We need to start coming together in our communities. We need to start knowing who's who in the zoo in our communities. Yeah, we're not going to escape. Bible says those who are alive and remain. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's going to be sick. Definitely another thing you'll want is our firearms. Have your firearms at the ready, know how to shoot, know how to freaking load your weapon. If you don't, like, just having a firearm alone isn't going to save you. Know how to use that motherfucker. Know how to use it with both hands, right? That's another thing. People only know how to shoot with the right hand. They don't know how to freaking cock with the left hand. They don't know how to fire with the left hand, even though it's a right-handed gun. A lot of people find it difficult. Be ready with both hands. Be ready at the drop of a hat in the middle of the night. How to maneuver inside of your own house with a piece, right? Whether you got a shotgun or a handgun, right? Or a rifle. How to maneuver within your own house if you have a gun. Just because you have a gun, I mean, that's good. But have that thing, know how to use it in your own environment. That may make the difference. So at least practice. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina said to be armed. Yes. Yeah, and that's what it is, man. In California, nobody cares. Nobody cares. No, a lot of people, you can't wake them up. And what it is the sun is shining. Everybody's happy. It's warm. They're not going to wake up. They're not going to wake up. P. Diddy is on their mind. All that bullshit that doesn't count for anything. They're not going to wake up. They won't. Many of them won't. And those that do, they're probably being ostracized as we speak. So a lot of, I'm not talking shit about Californians, and because I'm not talking shit about you, Maria Walker, and those of y'all that live out there in Cali. I'm not talking shit about y'all, but you know what it is. Like, you live there. Hell, I live here in VA, and people are caught up in their own little lives, and they think I'm crazy. But those that I spoke to at the American Legion, they heard me talking. A couple of them heard me talking, didn't say anything. And then they approached me. They were like, hey, man, you know, one of them was like, I don't know if I told you. He was like, I'm a mechanical engineer. And yeah, a lot of what you said is true. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want them thinking I'm crazy. But yeah, man, like, I didn't know this whole flat earth thing until I heard you talking about it. And you know what it is. Sounds like you know what you're talking about. And then, you know, we got to talking. He seems like a cool dude. And then I told him, I said, hey, man, like what I say sounds good. It sounds great and everything, but just don't listen to me. Totally look into your own stuff. Do your due diligence, do your research, look back on what I say, right? Yeah. So I was telling him you'll find anti-answers. You'll find a lot of people that will lie to you to steer you from what the truth is. But here's my thing. If you're ready from the truth, those people that are going to steer you from the truth, they could be falling and raining like cats and dogs. It doesn't matter. If you are truly looking for the truth, you'll find it. It doesn't matter. And so the guy seemed cool, seems like a cool dude. Sat down, we had a beer. I was eating my salad and stuff. And like I was telling him, I was like, and so he was asking me all the typical questions of flat earth and how do you know this one and that one. I heard you talking about flying on a plane and this one. What kind of plane did you fly on? And I told him all that, right? He knew I was military, obviously, because it's an American Legion. And it's a bunch of old people in there and retire. Most of them are retired, like myself, right? And so he knew that I had a military background, and he knew that I had an extensive military background because I was wearing my retired Navy chief hat. And so I was like, yeah, I've done all the flights. I've done all these things, told him everything. And that's one thing that could help. But if not too many people are privileged with with experience like that. So it's kind of difficult when trying to show somebody point somebody in the right direction because you don't have an experience to rely on. I'm not saying that you need an experience to rely on or something that somebody could bite on and be like, all right, I could listen to you because you're experienced in this, right? You don't have to have that. You don't have to have that. You could just bring up the reality of things. And really, I didn't want him relying on the fact that I was military and just going with that because then that's to me, and this is a fault of mine as well, where I would be like, well, I'm military, so I know what I'm talking about, or I'm military and my experience trumps A, B, and C. Yes, experience has its place. And what you've done, yes, those things have its place, but the truth always has a place. And it is what it is. Whether you're in the military, whether you're a Peace Corps, the earth isn't going to curve if you're in the military and a Peace Corps. It doesn't, right? So you could be in a Peace Corps and be on a ship. You could be in a Peace Corps and fly on a plane. You could do these things still, right? Priest, you could be you could be Tiger Woods and do many of the things that I did. I just did a lot of them in excess. And so I don't want people taking my military time as so I kind of wanted to pull him away from my military career is why the earth is what it is. And I told him, man, definitely do your research. But again, uh when you're looking for the truth, you get a lot more than you bargain for. You do. And so a lot of these dishonest globers, their end is nigh. Their end is nigh. And don't even worry about them. Don't get mad at them. The thing is their kids will know them for the bullshit that they spew, and it'll be on record. Everything they say, everything they do, FTFE is going to have to hold account for it. All these people, Will Duffy, all those guys are going to have to account for their lies. They're going to have to account for supporting these lies. So my thing is, we don't worry about them. We just keep it moving. And this is actually this is the first time we've mentioned them, other than when I mentioned FTFE, but that was more along the lines of what he did previously when he was a sailor, I think for either the British or the Scottish, the Scots or the Brits. He was a sailor for them. From what I hear, he was like a nuclear engineer or something like that. FTFE was a sunchoke. Wild lettuce is a very powerful painkiller. It's an analgesic. You can have a harvest and make a tincture. I like that. Sunchokes. I'm going to look that up. Sunchokes. Chokes. Okay. Yeah, man. So, the end, like I said, the end of the globe is like upon us. The flat Earth isn't really new like that. Many of us, it may seem new, but there's so much evidence in our favor that it's like it's I don't know if they still do the debates, if they still do Austin Whitsitt versus this guy, Flat Earth Banjo versus this guy, Jaren versus, freaking Brenda, some shit like that. Flat Earth Banjo, versus Will Duffy. And then they look at Will Duffy like he's the boss. Boss the plane. Right? So, Flat Earth Banjo, I love his channel. And another thing, family. Make sure to get in with the Antikythera mechanism. If you don't know, we have put together a team. It's almost like the Fellowship of the Rings. And what we're looking to do, actually what we're going to do, I apologize, is we're putting together the Antikythera again. So we have a team that we're putting together a few models of the Antikythera mechanism, like the real deal physical model of this thing. You understand? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to drop that in the description box, in the chat box, excuse me. And there it is. And I'm going to also go ahead, because you guys should have gotten that spring thing at the top. Okay. You should have gotten that already. And I'm going to pin that at the top. Okay. So that right there is the Antikythera and the Antikythera mechanism. So we have a team. Join that on Telegram. So if you're serious about making it, you just get in where you fit in. Everybody has a role to play. Everybody has something that they can do to make this happen. And our thing is to make this happen. It's not just for the community. This is for the world to come here in the future. We're looking at changing things. We're not gonna leave it up to the liars to change shit no more. And to me, this is where taking the onus of what we want our world to be, this is where taking the onus comes into play. Like, how do we want this to look? How do we together to change it? And we have to convince ourselves that it's up to us for us to change the culture that's around us. It's up to us. Don't fucking use those to be unreliable. These people have proven themselves to be unreliable, to be disingenuous, to be liars, to lack integrity. So don't rely on those people. Rely on yourself. Rely on your family. Rely on your friends, your neighbors, your community. Don't rely on those guys, but also definitely rely on yourself. Believe in yourself and be honest with yourself. That's where it all starts, really. It's just being honest with yourself, letting know what. And so that right there is the link. I went ahead and I posted it or pinned it to the top. And Nate X says there is a such thing as loosh harvesting. The globe debates train you. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't give it any. We've won that thing a million times over. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. You know what their favorite? Here's how you know they're full of shit. This is how you know. This is one question they ask. You still haven't given us a couple of questions, a couple of remarks they make. You still haven't given us a map. That's one. Two, you still haven't proven to us that the world is flat. You still haven't proven this to us. Where's your proof? Where's your proof? You hear that all the time, and then it gets us wound up. Walk away. Just walk away. It's a total waste of time. Just walk away. They've gotten everything they needed. They have everything they need. Let them fucking figure it out. Let them sort through it. We've given them everything. It's time for us to move on and change the world. It's time for us to move on and change the world. Is anyone in the group in California at Ironwork? Is anybody here in California, family? Anybody in here from Cali? I thought Roger Ledwell was, but Roger is from Cal. Or he lives in not California, but he lives in Colorado. Jaron from Jaronism. I know he's from Cali. So who? Okay, so who in here is from Cali? Please announce yourself. Ginseng harvest is happening now. Ginseng is all over the Appalachia. Oh, wow. They are strict on wild harvesting. Wow. Coffs Harbor. I did not know that. I got ginseng in my raw honey. Wow. Propolis Royal Jelly Bee Pollen Mix. Oh, wow. That's amazing. So you have them in Aussie too? Yowie. Get out of the jungle before dark. It's a golden rule. Get out of the jungle before dark. Yeah, it's the golden rule. Shit, I hear that. But yeah. So like, don't rely. Here's the thing. We know that those guys have lied. Most of what we spoke about tonight are the lies that we've experienced and how it's basically sent us on a tailspin, right? But we're not in a tailspin right now. We understand where we're not. We know what we're not on. We know that much. So that's a start, right? And we're slowly piecemealing and figuring out what all of this is. Slowly but surely, but it's happening. Something is happening. We're coming in. We're waking up. With that, how do we want our future to look? We have to, that's up to us. We have to take control. We have to change that. We can't rely on those guys no more. Like they're useless. They're useless. We need to wash our hands off them and just cast them aside, man. They're totally fucking useless. Your Neil deGrasse Tysons, now all you can do is make fun of them. All those guys, all those scientists that say, oh, we sent a probe to Mars and here's what the ice looks like on Mars. They're useless. They have no use. They've overstayed their welcome. They are with that. And so as soon as you recognize they have no use, they lose their power. And so now we can't just leave shit in an empty void. Now it's up to us to decide how we want this place to look, how we want our future to be, how we want our children to live. All of that, I honestly feel, is on us. It ain't on them no more. Like, we're pulling the responsibility away from them, man, because we gave these people that don't deserve the power too much power. We gave them this right here, the Antikythera mechanism, right? This is, in a sense, us getting ready to get back our power, understand where it is below us, on our feet. Let me see where you at. I have a 94 for you, and then I Cape Terra of Jonah, and I don't know where to go other than Arkansas, but it's not rural. Is there? Well, I could tell you, Maria Walker, Arkansas isn't bad. Get around. I know it could be wilderness in there. That's a good thing to a degree. That's good. because you can at least grow things there, and you could live well there, and you can live there, and you can protect yourself there. In the city, it's hard. In a city, in a place like Los Angeles, those guys are going to be subjects to the government big time. It's going to be tough in the city. There's hardly any soil to grow anything. Like, you are a subject to the you're a slave at that. You're a true slave at that point. It's a scary feeling. It's a scary feeling. A lot of variety I've heard, so you actually saw it and it's scary. Definitely hear people. Awesome, Maria Walker. Yeah. Yeah. So, a lot of people look at Arkansas and they turn their nose up to it. Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama's, all these places that it could be countryfied. Virginia, even, right? Where I live is like the country. I live out in the country. I live out in the sticks, and I prefer it that way. That's how I like it. I got away from the people. I had to, right? And so I live out in the sticks, and being out here lets me, like, I could fuck with my guns, right? In Virginia, you could still have guns, but you can't fire in your backyard. You can't fire on the side of your house. You can't set up a fire pit in many places in Virginia. Where I live, you could do that, right? I could do all these things. I could do all that stuff. I've got so many deer on out here. So many deer, right? I don't even know when the season is. It's probably like in a month or so, but we've got a lot of deer here. And we've got a few creeks here too that I can fish in. So there are ways to survive where I'm at. And there are places out there where you guys live as well that reflect what Virginia is, right? Or where I live. There are places where you guys live that that reflect the same way. And so you guys could live just as well as I can, even better, right? Depending on what you know or what you don't know, or probably most likely depending on what you know, right? And so you could live well. The country offers that. It lets you live the way you want to live. The city, it's tough when it's hard when the city operates everything. When the government operates everything, it is tough. It is tough, right? And so things like the purge are more likely to happen in a place like the city, right? Because so many people are within such close proximity. I'm not saying that I'm not subject to it. I'm not saying that at all, but it's easier to happen in a place where it's crowded. It's easier to happen where you could see your neighbor like from 10 feet away. It's easy to happen there. So definitely be careful. Definitely arm yourself. Use your better judgment. When it comes to arming yourself, you use your better judgment. Because many of us out here are from Chicago. Many of us are from New York. And Nate X. Hey, Nate X, welcome. Look at that. Already guys are coming in here. And welcome, Nate X. It's good to see you. Now, you're going to see Vika is in here. As you come in, this group for the anti-Cathera mechanism is a serious group. We're not sitting there. We're not BSing and lollygaggling. Like, definitely come in, say what's up, announce yourself. We're here. We're together. We're working together as a family, right? And we're here to accomplish one goal. That is to get the anti-Cathera up and running. Beautiful, looking good, and us being a part of it, and then us ultimately presenting it to the world, right? Available to the world, showing them that yes, it can be done. And we're not here to bullshit and play around. We're not, right? And so we're going to put it together as a team. And then there's more. There's more. Vika is going to have join the group, guys. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it again in here. It's already posted at the top of the chat box. It's pinned at the top. There it is. That's the anti-Cathera team. Go ahead and join, right? Vika's going to have a presentation this Sunday, the 6th, about the Antikythera mechanism. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about the team and the team makeup and the future of what is to come with the group and what we can expect. So you guys join. If you hadn't joined, I highly recommend you join. Get in where you fit in. You don't have to have any special talent. Be part of the group. Be in there. Support. That works too. Right? But if you do have a special talent, even better, whatever it is. Even if you play the fucking harmonica, I don't care. Or the kazoo. Doesn't matter. Like, come in, get in where you fit in. We could probably use a kazoo player. I don't know. We could probably use a harmonica player, somebody that plays the spoons. I don't know. But get in where you fit in. Somebody always has something to give. You understand? Somebody always has something to give. And that's Vika's channel. That's right. Thank you, Maria Walker. I appreciate you. Shifty Shady Eyes. Grew up in the New York City suburbs. Entire life. Lived in New York City and Miami. Yeah. Yeah. You sound like you. Are you Shifty Shady Eyes? You Puerto Rican? You Dominican? You Cuban? New York and Miami. You say the downtown area. Moving to 20 to the Appalachia. I'm still adjusting. Appalachia is a beautiful place. Appalachia is a beautiful place. All those city noisy pollution, city lights pollution. Humans weren't meant to live that way. That's right. It's not normal. I know people from New York City moved to the suburbs by me and got scared by the silence. Nah, I feel you on that. That was me originally when I was a kid. Shifty Shady Eyes. That was me as a kid when we moved from Brooklyn to Long Island. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get used to the silence out there. I was so used to sirens and noise and car and bodegas and everything on the corner. And then getting away from that, I was upset. I didn't like it. But then I got used to it. And then I got spoiled. Half Italian, half German, a quarter Irish. Whole family originally from the Bronx. BX, that's what's up. I dig it. Love this shit. I love it, Shifty Shady Eyes. And so, yeah, I totally feel where you're coming from. And welcome, Nadex, to the family. Welcome. Good to have you. And Shifty Shady Eyes, I feel where you're coming from. You need to come out here. Oh, wait. Okay, it's Flowers. It's Forever Flowers that lives in the Appalachians. Okay, amazing. It's a beautiful place, and it's a good living. As long as you get your bearing, it is a good place to live. Shifty Shady Eyes, and I don't blame you for leaving New York if you left. So I love New York. I do. It's in my heart, but it's not a place where I'm not settling there. I can't do it. I can't do it. There's too much going on in New York. Always been so much going on in New York, and you become a slave to the government instantly. It's easy in New York to become a slave. Easy. They don't even know it. They think they're the most free people, the best people on earth is the New Yorker. And unfortunately, they're the easiest people to enslave is the New Yorker. It's the city New Yorker, you understand? Not the one out there and freaking up there in Buffalo or anything like Oneonta. No, I'm talking about the guys in the city. They're easy. They're easy pickings. Everybody's right there. Easy pickings. What would drive me out too? It's nerve-wracking. The noise would drive me, yeah. And yeah, New York City pizza is amazing. It is. And yeah, there are a lot of white folks in the Bronx. A lot of Italians, a lot of Italians. Probably some Irish too. But there are some Italians there. Yeah. Not to have the constant noise of planes, trains, and noise from the interstate. That's right. Valley Parks. Good to see you. Valley Parks, where you at? Hey, Valley Parks, what's happening? It's good to see you, Valley Parks. It's good to see you. Holding it down. I'm glad to see. Okay. Yeah. When the homeless started creeping into my little area, I put my home up for sale. Oh, wow. People were getting carjacked as they went to, wow. Yeah. That's New York for you. That's New York for you. People still getting their shit stolen. People still getting their cars put on blocks in many places in New York. And it hasn't gotten better with the illegal aliens from Venezuela heading to New York. It hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten worse in New York City. you know. So no, I totally feel you on that. Forever Flowers. Yeah. Move forever. Yeah, that's it is what it is, Maria Walker. It's the nature of the beast. That's why if you can get away from the cities, get away from the cities if you can to a meetup. You want to hear the story? I tend to meet up. Do you want to hear the story Hurricane Survivor? Sure. I don't. Yeah, so we got 3 New Yorkers. Forever Flowers, Shifty Shady Eyes, and myself that had enough, apparently. Tony Coriolis. Yeah, Tony Coriolis. I love that guy. He's in the group as well. Like I said, guys, if you're not part of the Telegram group, you should get in. Tony Coriolis is in there too. Good dude. Solid dude. I like him. Solid dude. Tony Coriolis is a solid dude, man. Good guy. He's part of the group as well. Luke 2343. All right. Holding it down. Good to see you, bro. Luke, what's happening, bro? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. When the grid is down, we had a live band with music. Yeah. Yeah. That's always a good thing. Always good to have somebody that can play something and that could be part of a band just to keep the people entertained, man. Still in the New York City suburbs. I got to take care of my mom's trying to move her out. Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. I dig that. I dig that. Family, I hate to have to cut it short, but I'm going to have to roll. I got to be up here in the next 4 hours. No, 5 hours, excuse me. I got to be up in 5 hours. So I cannot stay. I wish I could. I cannot. However, I love you guys. You guys are amazing as usual. And damn, Luca got voted off Flatoid's show. Yeah, no, I'm not from New York. Sorry, I'm from a smaller big city. You know about horse racing there. Kentucky, if I misled. Oh, okay, Lexington. Luca got voted off Flatoid's show. Luca, I'm sorry, but audience, Luca, you're wasting our time, Luca. So it's time for you to go. It's all right. Perhaps next time, but not today. Luca, you can go. Luca, incorrect. You can go. It's either cosmology or cosmogony. It can't be the same. It can't be both. You can go, Luca. I know. Oh, Luke is here. And I know Luke does Luca's voice from time to time. Grid down situation, 2 guitars and amps and a sound bar, blah, 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 running off the grid. Yeah, baby. I got you, man. Hey, Nate X, man. It's all good, brother. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. But family, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to cut tonight a little bit short, just a little bit short. I have got to be up here in the next few hours. So I apologize, first off, for starting an hour late. And next time I will do better to not start an hour late. Okay. And yeah, it was an amazing show, family. So right there, posted at the top of the chat box, you have the Anti-Cathera team. Join the Anti-Cathera team on Telegram. Join our team. Almost there. We're almost there at our goal for bodies and for people. And we're going to get this thing done together. We're going to get this thing done together. And we're like, it's got to start. Shit's got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Flat Earth Dave is doing his thing. Jaron from Jaronism is doing his thing. They're doing it, but they're doing something for the community. We all have something to give to the community. We can do it together for the community. Right? At the end of the day, what are we leaving our kids? What are we going to leave for the children? Right? What are we going to leave for the kids? And my thing is totally like our time is going to expire, but what are we going to leave for our children in the future? So, to me, this Antikythera mechanism is something that we can honestly say, hey, we did our part, or we are working on doing our part still. And then they can build off of it. Whatever they want to do, they can build off of it. I don't know. But we're leaving something behind for the children, right? Not just our, but many others that follow. Like, I sincerely believe that. I know I sound corny and it sounds corny, but it is what it is, man. Because the lies, we're done with. We're done with the lies. I know I am, and I know you are. But all in all, we're done with the bullshit, and we're taking control. However which way that looks, however which way we do it, that's it, and that's all. Survived Valley Parks. Congrats. You're here with us. We are dumber. And knowledge of foraging and how engines work. Yeah. So, family, I am going to go ahead and I must roll. I must part from you for tonight. But that's all right, because we shall return on Friday. Friday will be our day. Yes. Okay, Maria Walker. Perhaps you're right, like the scriptures say. Perhaps you're right, like the scriptures say. Lord knows what we're going to get, or maybe Lord knows what we are going to get, right? But like the scriptures say, it may befall us and shit may turn out wild. But in the meantime, let's work with what we got. Let's work together, right? Let's work as a family and just make shit happen as we can. You know what I'm saying? We can make shit happen as it comes, and we do the best with what we got. So, family, if you haven't joined, it's right there in the description box. I already went ahead and I posted it. The description box. I keep calling it that, but the chat box is right there, pinned at the top. The Antikythera team. So go ahead and join it. Also, go ahead, leave a like, leave a share, sub to this channel if you have. Yep, maybe we live another day. All right, sis. So I think y'all had enough of my internet cutting in and out. So, family, with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave y'all with my blessings. Yeah. And here it is, y'all. Yes, Maria Walker, thank you very much. And so I'll try to be a little bit prepared for a bit before we come back here on Flat Earth Friday. Exactly. Yes. So here's my challenge to you guys. What are you going to do to prepare yourself? You don't have to do it right now, but what are you going to do up to Friday? How are you going to prepare, right? Let us know. On Friday, I'm going to ask that question, right? Have we prepped? Have we prepped? And so Friday, I am going to ask that question because this is one of those things on whether we're functioning right or not, right? What are we doing for the community? And not just talking about the flat earth, but what are we doing? Because this is a community, this has become a community, whether you like it or not. What are we doing for each other? How are we preparing and how are we getting each other better so that we could survive? Like you said, Shifty Shady Eyes, maybe we all live another day so that we could better survive the next days. What are we doing to prepare for that? Right. So, how are we prepping? I'm going to be asking that question. What did you do to get prepared? What did we do to get prepared for what's could possibly come? I don't know. I don't know, but what did we do to prepare ourselves? Anyway, family, that's what I got. Thank you, Maria Walker, for that. I thought that was a phenomenal idea. Thank you for that. Back up, big out bag. Okay, I dig that. I like that. I like that. Um, and me, I know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna let y'all know. What I already know what I've been doing, so I'm just gonna do more of it and probably change a couple, not even change, but add a couple of new things because I've done plenty of the other stuff. But it is what it is, family. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna get up out of here. It was amazing tonight, family, and thank you for accepting me and my craziness and my lateness. Anyway, family, there it is again, the Antikythera team right there, pinned at the top. Go ahead and join if you hadn't joined. If you're ready to commit, if you're ready to do something to change this world and to change this, to change this and to make it better for our kids and our society. Let's get in. And we get in, we get in where we fit in, where we get in, right? We get in where we fit in. So, family, that is all I've got for tonight or this morning. I wish you nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity, most of all, wisdom. And with that, family, I love you. I'm out. Peace.